News. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Pain can make you feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. Or it can make you try any and everything. And most times that'll make you feel like you've been taken for a ride. It's hard to believe that there's a solution to your pain problem that works, is safe, and is actually affordable. But that's why most insurance plans pay for pain treatments from Rejuvenex, because they're FDA approved and they do work. Toradol and hyaluronic acid work together to substantially alleviate your pain. And we've seen patients experience pain relief for greater than 2 years after completing a series of treatments. Is it a one and done? No. But at as low as $65 per joint? It's an affordable alternative to surgery. And it's not an expensive cross your fingers and hope it works experiment. Especially for older pain sufferers, the pain treatment that Rejuvenex offers is worth trying, because the vast majority of patients who do live better lives in a lot less pain.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
It's a super affordable family fish fry Friday at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more for your fish fry. The Mine Chef fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. You deserve it. After a long week, relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked aside from the dining area while you finish up, maybe have an after-dinner drink. I repeat, hard to believe, the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free. The Mine Chef in beautiful downtown Hartford. And near the EAA in Oshkosh, tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday, $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry, serving from 11 a.m. Get there early. I love that fish fry. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. What a value. MineChefRestaurant.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
The Bucks are taking the playoffs back home.
My mindset right now is game 3. I know what I got to do.
To turn things around against the Pacers.
Giannis the other way. Gallops down the lane and plunges it through with a right-hand jam. There was nothing in between him and the rim.
Our Game 3 coverage starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot-Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure, your top story, protesting the arrest of a Milwaukee County judge.
I'm Julia Fellow. International students get to stay.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, starting off with a crash northbound 41 just north of North Avenue. Delays coming up from Watertown Plank Road past that scene, pretty much all the way up to Capitol Drive. On the southbound side, backing up from just south of Main Street all the way down past Good Hope Road to Silver Spring. On northbound 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Westbound 94 is heavy from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And eastbound is heavy from 84th Street all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, breezy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 57. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Judge Hannah Dugan appeared before a federal judge this morning on 2 felony counts of obstruction. The FBI arresting Dugan over allegedly helping undocumented immigrant Eduardo Flores Ruiz evade arrest when ICE agents tried to arrest him earlier this month. City officials joined protesters outside the federal courthouse to voice their concerns. Alderwoman Marina Dmitrievich.
We need people to be able to seek justice, to be able to go to the library, the health department, school, church, live their lives not in shadows. That is not how a democratic society is run, and it does not make a safer city for anyone.
The judge's arraignment will be May 15th.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says the arrest of Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan by the FBI was more about the hype than it was about keeping the community safer from illegal immigrants who commit crimes. WTMJ's Sean Brinda is at City Hall.
The arrest of Judge Hannah Dugan has Milwaukee leaders up in arms. Friday afternoon, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said that the arrest of Judge Dugan was for show purposes only and that the federal government had no excuse to detain Dugan in such a way.
I want people to have their day in court. I want people to hold folks accountable in our judicial system, but the actions of this administration are driving people away from doing that, and that's not good for public safety in Milwaukee.
Judge Dugan will reappear in court May 15th. From Milwaukee Milwaukee City Hall, Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
The Trump administration is changing course when it comes to student visas. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The administration is reversing termination of legal status for international students. The move comes after more than 100 lawsuits in more than 20 states. Judges had already issued temporary orders restoring student records to a federal database of foreign students. That database is maintained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The action left thousands of students to panic over whether they would lose their legal status and be quickly deported.
At least 2 lawsuits came from graduating students at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Russian President Vladimir Putin met with 3 hours today with the President Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff to talk about peace. News Nation's Kelly Meyer.
When we were in the Oval Office the other day asking President Trump about the war in Ukraine and these peace talks, I asked if he was going to meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky. He did say that he wasn't sure if he was going, but in addition to that, he said that it's been harder to work with Zelensky than he thought. That was something new that we heard from him, really saying that this negotiation has been harder than he imagined.
Senior U.S. officials have warned if the two sides do not come to a settlement soon, they might give up.
Coming up, creating a new way to keep women safe.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:05.
The new fractured boulders we now have in stock are really nice. They're squarer and more rectangular in shape, and they're great for building dry-laid retaining walls. They're much easier to deal with, lock together nicely, and you get less gaps. No wet mortar needed. And we've stocked a multitude of colors. You can use them as an accent item to add character to your dry river or creek beds, too. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our organic mulch is comprised of all trees. Most mulch is made from ground-up pallets, and you don't know what might have been spilled on those pallets. Could be chemicals or who knows what. But not our mulch, we're recycling trees. Many species of hardwoods. Cedar, hemlock, light brown, dark brown, mocha, black, red, gold, and caramel. 7 colors to choose from means a mulch to match any exterior. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
I love my dogs. They're like kids in our home and a lot like raising children. I found that Bella and Baxter didn't always listen to me. I started working with Matt at Sit Means Sit Dog Training. He's the owner, and they are awesome. We've had a great experience, even better results. Our dogs are better behaved. As a client, I know the good work Sit Means Sit does. I trust them. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Contact Sit Means Sit Dog Training today to schedule a free consultation. That's how we began, with that free consultation. It's easy. SitMeansSitWaukesha.com.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty each weekday.
Jessica's going to carry the show while I watch round one of the Masters. Thank you in advance for handling things today.
Oh, yeah, you're out, huh?
But,
isn't that what you said to me when the NCAA tournament started?
Yes, and I was here mostly.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast.
Right there at your fingertips, wherever you get your podcast, find us.
Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:07.
A student at Texas A&M University testing bulletproof vests designed for women.
An estimated 700,000 women work in law enforcement, but bulletproof vests are only made to fit men. PhD candidate Andrea Porter says running with vests that weigh up to 40 pounds is especially tough for women.
It's bouncing on that delicate breast tissue, and so it's very painful.
Porter hopes her research will lead to better vest designs for women in law enforcement and the military.
If women are out there and willing to protect us, then we need to have equipment that protects them.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers have a new star fit for the green and gold, wide receiver Matthew Golden.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a green band 3. 1, 2, 3.
Love that. Golden is the first wide receiver pick for the Packers in the first round since 2002. Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft are tonight in Green Bay. The Bucs return to Fiserv Forum tonight, down 0-2 to the Pacers. Coverage at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. And the Brewers head to St. Louis for a 3-game series against the Cardinals. You can hear that game on 94.5 ESPN starting at 6:40.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:08.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
Caleb Durbin beats it out. It's an infield single in his first major league at bat.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
Maybe Caleb Durbin's the guy that is that spark plug. I love that comp, that David Eckstein comp. I mean, quite frankly, he could bench press David Eckstein. Got that upper body build. He swings hard, pulls the ball.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
All right, so it's an honor flight early tomorrow morning. Got to be at the airport super early. So it won't be Crazy Cocktail Friday, but I might have one tonight. And if I do, you know where I got all the ingredients? Otto's Wine and Spirits. Otto's will beat any advertised price. Best selection, best value in Otto's. I love the staff because they're friendly and they're really super knowledgeable. The stores are employee-owned, so they really care. Otto's, serving Milwaukee since 1945, open 7 days a week. Wisconsin strong all the way. Best selection, best value. That's it. It's Otto's.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right. How are you doing, Julia?
We are back.
We've been going like 1,000 different directions today. I literally didn't see you today till 2 o'clock. It's been one of those days. All right, let's get to the 3 at 3.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, so this is a special 3 at 3. It's all about the NFL draft. You and I, you referenced this. We were up there yesterday. Wasn't it so cool? It was fun walking around. Okay, quick couple takeaways. I love it. The draft music. The cost of parking was my first slap in the face when I got up there. I drove past places in the old neighborhood that I lived in west of the stadium that were charging $200.
Oh, I saw $160 was the highest I saw.
Yeah, I saw a couple that were $200. That's outrageous. I did like seeing all the jerseys getting along. It was so cool to see not just the jerseys of whoever the Packers were playing on any given Sunday, but from all over the league. They were all there. They were all walking around. It was so cool. A couple of my takeaways, and a cute little entrepreneur girl selling lemonade for $1 a cup as you walk to the stadium. Those are kind of my takeaways. It was a fun day.
Oh, that was really fun. Weather not so great in Green Bay yesterday. It was really nice. Right now, it's not good. The NFL assured today that everyone is not going to run out of beer in Green Bay. There was rumors about that. I was impressed with the atmosphere. It was so relaxed and chill. And there were people dressed up in crazy outfits, a Packers fan wearing a sombrero, Santa dressed up in Packers gear.
Yeah, I saw that.
People in eye patches supporting the Pittsburgh Pirates. I was expecting to see more fans of different teams during the day. But, John, I saw a majority of Packers fans. Is that what you saw?
Definitely
or no?
overwhelmingly Packers fans, yeah. As it got later in the day, when it got to be 5 o'clock, I started to see more fans from the others. Okay, then the draft starts, right? So it gets to be 7 o'clock and it starts. Several legendary Packers came out on the stage, including Clay Matthews, who had this to say.
I just got off the phone with the President, Donald Trump. He asked me to pass a message along to all 32 NFL franchises. So let me tell you what it reads here, all right? It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck! Let's go! Go Pack!
The crowd did go crazy.
I'm sorry.
Going nuts. You can hear him roaring in the background there. What did you think of his comments?
I thought it was funny, but I'm sure nobody from the Bears liked that.
Well, that's the only part I liked, that no one from the Bears liked it. I could give a rat's you-know-what the Bears fans think. I'm on the fence about this. I thought it was funny. I did like it initially, but as I've thought about it more, I don't know. I kind of wish that instead he had pumped up the Packers. I'll say this. I don't have a problem with it. But it wasn't my favorite moment of the whole night.
This was my favorite. Isn't that fun?
Amazing.
200,000 people doing that?
It gave me goosebumps when I heard it. Absolutely remarkable. Much more on the draft as we head through the afternoon, including what to expect tonight. Jason Wilde joins us coming up during the 4 o'clock hour. Up next, at the draft, I caught up with Governor Evers, and he made some news. You'll hear that straight ahead.
As clutch
of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R Benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Shoulder not feeling right? Knee a little gimpy? I've got the team that'll take care of it for you. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Best doctors, highest patient satisfaction ratings. They are experts in hip, knee, shoulder replacement and non-surgical options to make you feel better. Here's what you do. Go to the website, ohow.com, ohow.com, hit the request an appointment button, select one of the fantastic doctors, request an appointment. I've been in their facilities. They're gorgeous. They're state-of-the-art. The imaging is incredible. Start by doing this. You need to feel how you need to feel. Go to ohow.com, select a doctor, then hit the request an appointment button. Request your appointment today at ohow.com.
Say hello to the future of drinking with Nowadays. While Green Bay's on the clock, enjoy a cannabis-infused spirit designed to deliver a light and buzzy experience without the negative effects of alcohol. Ditch the booze. Keep the fun. Drink Nowadays. Look for Nowadays at your local retailer or bar.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. Just $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Loziga. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Well, we've got a new crash. It's on westbound 94, right at the ramp from Highway 175 northbound, otherwise known as Burrs Boulevard. It's off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. We've also got this other crash on northbound 41, right about just north of North Avenue, off on the right shoulder. And then we've got one more on northbound Highway 100 at Burleigh. The left lane is blocked with that one, so just be extra careful as you're heading northbound on Highway 100. Other than that, northbound 43 delays from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight. Decreasing clouds and breezy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 57. Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 63. On Monday, chance for showers, a high of 78. On Tuesday, chance for rain, a high of 70 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, it is cloudy and 50 degrees.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Drakeham Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDrakeham.com.
So the Wisconsin Supreme Court recently upheld Governor Tony Evers' partially vetoed measure that extended a temporary school funding increase by 400 years. In the measure passed by the legislature, he took out a couple of numbers in a hyphen, and basically they had intended the funding to go till the end of the 24-25 school year. He removed some digits, and now it's extended till 24-25 for 400 years because of our powerful veto we have in the state. So I'm up there yesterday at the draft. I'm actually getting ready to leave. And so I bought a Crunch Wrap and some French fries from a little stand. I had it in my hand in this little carton, and I'm carrying it in my hand. I'm just trying to make my way to the car. And I see in the distance 3 big Secret Service state troopers, 3 state troopers, big guys. And I go, wow, that's interesting. And then I look a little further, a little closer, and they're surrounding Governor Evers. And I saw him, and I said, wow, that's the governor right there. And he's making his way towards someone else, another media outlet. I said, I'm going to talk to him. So I walked up to him. They didn't like that. They were not happy at all. The Secret Service, I keep saying that. The security moved in on me. And I just went right past him, and I went to the governor. His communication person said, John, we're not doing any interviews.
It's a public place.
And I ignored her. I completely ignored her, and I banged into her, and I went up to the governor. I'm juggling my food in one hand. I'm fumbling for my phone. Here I am. He's looking at me like, hey, Crunchwrap dude, what do you want to ask me?
Yeah.
And so I talked to him, and this is what I asked. This is our little conversation, me and the governor outside of Lambeau.
The criticism you're getting over the veto. How do you respond to people who say that's too much in Wisconsin, it shouldn't be like that?
Yeah, when you look at that and you look at what a small difference it makes in the whole budget, I have no regrets.
He has no regrets. So he had not talked about this. Since the Supreme Court ruled, he had not spoken about this. These are his first comments on it. After that, he was walking towards a different media outlet, and his comm person was giving me the death stare. I mean, she was looking at me like, you are done with him? Don't ask him anymore. The state troopers got really close to him. They banged into me. Ridiculous. She kind of banged into me. Too bad.
Too bad.
So there he is on the record. He's not spoken about it. Republicans are outraged. The Supreme Court has ruled, and he says, I have no regrets. It is 3:19 at WTMJ.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
John Mercure here to tell you about a cool trip I've got coming up with listeners. I'm taking listeners on a holiday trip. It's very early December. We're back in time to get all ready for Christmas. I love this. It's America's Music Cities. 3 places I absolutely love. New Orleans, Memphis, and Nashville, all decked out for the holidays. It's going to be music. It's going to be lots of food. It's going to be festive. We're having a get-together, actually. I will be there. The travel company, Colette, will be there. My wife will even be there. You want to come meet us and get more information on the trip? Let me send you the details. Send me an email, john@WTMJ.com. The soulful city of New Orleans. We stay right in the heart of the French Quarter. Nashville with a horse-drawn carriage ride, an incredible couple of dinners. The Opryland Resort in Nashville, the birthplace of the blues in Memphis with Graceland. It's going to be great. We're getting together to discuss it. I've got a brochure with pricing and all that stuff. I'd love to send it to you. It's America's Music Cities in December. Let me get you the information. John@WTMJ.com, JOHN@WTMJ.com. Let me send you the brochure, and all the info on our fun little meeting we've got coming up is there too. John, JOHN@WTMJ.com.
First class isn't as cheap as Coach, and you can't buy Prada for a Fruit of the Loom price. But while they last, you can buy high-end Beautyrest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These are the best of the best, and now you can get them for way less. Like a Beautyrest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Or a Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres Pillow Top was $1,093, but the floor model is just $546. Visit any employee-free Hassellus showroom and test your favorite floor model without salespeople breathing down your neck. You won't find these mattresses priced this low anywhere else. It's like buying a Lamborghini for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Only a few floor models are available at each Hassellus mattress location, and when they're gone for good. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Perfect music for the draft.
Love it.
It felt like the same as it feels like on a vacation yesterday at the NFL draft, didn't it? Wasn't it so chillaxed?
It had a cool vibe. Mm-hmm.
There was only one arrest yesterday, John.
That's amazing, really.
Out of 200,000 fans.
With alcohol involved. That's amazing.
As I was leaving, did you notice how it was getting a little more boozy?
Uh-huh. It was for sure. People have been drinking since noon.
I know. The size of the event is so big. So I had to park, and the closest I could get was 3/4 of a mile in. So, and a half mile in, I could hear the music thumping. So that just shows how big it is. When I was at the North Gate, where people were to line up, it got longer and longer and longer before I did the midday news hit at noon. People were getting a little agitated, but people were able to get in up until like 6:30 at night. That's when they cut everybody off.
Yeah.
And then I saw a bunch of people surrounding someone, taking photos. I'm like, is that John Mercure? John!
You're funny.
John! Something I never expected to see. The Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders outside of
That's
Lambeau
fun.
doing a photo shoot. Casey and Allison talked to me. They said they had never been to Green Bay before.
So we will be with fans and as well as during the day, kind of helping amplify the experience for them and cheering on what the Vikings pick is. We got some cheese on our way in. Exciting to see Titletown. I've always heard amazing things about Lambeau Field, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different than the Twin Cities because US Bank Stadium is in the heart of Minneapolis, so it's very different that it's kind of small towny, but it's cute.
It's cute.
Cute, she said.
Well, a lot of people were saying to me when it was the first time in Green Bay, they had no idea that there were ranch homes right across the street.
Yeah, right. It's in a neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
How fun was it to see the Packers pick? Wide receiver Matthew Golden. What a perfect last name, right?
Sure, yeah,
I
yeah.
love that that Mark Murphy did the intro too. That
He was good.
great speech. He wasn't booed. That was good. Goodell booed so many times.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Okay, here's Brian Gutekunst sharing how Ted Thompson was in the back of his mind when he chose Golden.
Well, certainly he's going to be a speed threat right away, right? He's one of those guys that covering him and from a man perspective is going to be extremely tough on teams, so when we get to some of those third down things where people are trying to mug us up and we need somebody to get open fast. And then I think for me, and this goes back to hear Ted in my head, you got to catch it. He has such good hands. For me, that was a big part of it too.
People say that when he catches, you can barely hear it, even with no gloves on. So let's hope that Golden is great. Golden hands, I'll call him that.
I like that. That's good.
Business impact. We expected before the draft $94 million. Of that, $20 million for Brown County alone. The Greater Milwaukee Green Bay Chamber upping that, expected to be $100 million. When I was leaving, cars were getting squirrely. Did you notice that as you were leaving, it was getting a little more chaotic?
Yeah, it was more crowded for sure.
And people were not happy with the parking
stressed.
price. They were talking to me. Muttering, $100 cash.
I saw $200 cash near where I was parked. That's insane.
That's insane. So there was a big yard, and I counted how many cars could park here. I swear, the one that I saw was at least 100.
Yep.
Times $100. That's $10,000.
Cash.
For 3 days?
Yeah.
$30,000. And they were selling drinks on the sidewalk, too. Cha-ching. I'll give a little credit to the Hilton, though. They said that half of all their parking sales go to Disabled Veterans Center.
Oh, that's nice.
I
like
do you want
that.
to talk about getting the media passes, how easy it was?
It was not easy. So this event goes all day, and you couldn't get your media pass till 3 o'clock. It didn't open till 3 o'clock.
John, it was harder than the RNC to get.
It was.
CBS Sports was in front of me. Another local station couldn't get their media passes until 3. How is that possible? How? We're supposed to be there.
And we couldn't get in till
it.
3. Yeah, that part was really weird.
I was able to get a little bit in without my pass.
Thought the NFL did a really good job, but that was just the one little area where they fell down. But I was impressed with how organized it was.
Yes.
It was impressive. It was big. There were people everywhere. And like you said, people were behaving. It was really, really nice. Much more on the draft as we head through the afternoon on WTMJ. Coming up after the news at the bottom of the hour, Honor Flight, Stars and Stripe Honor Flight launches for the year. This is fantastic. The president of Stars and Stripes is with us in the studio, coming up here in less than 10 minutes. Let's check out the markets. How about this? 4th straight day that the markets were winners. It's the longest streak since January. The NASDAQ, let's start there, was up 217 points. That's more than 1%. The Dow was up 20 points. The S&P was up 40 points on the day. What a nice way to end the week. Annex Wealth Management, financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
We didn't write the headline. The
The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Market shifts, economic uncertainty, and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. No doubt, standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil, and we're totally on board with that. But retirement planning isn't a set-it-and-forget-it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized financial, retirement, estate, and tax plans that adapt as needed and put your goals first always. Already with another firm, but getting the feeling you're lost in the shuffle or they just can't keep up? A second opinion could be the smartest move you could make. If you're managing it yourself, we'll fill in the gaps with professional precision. You work hard to build your future. Don't leave it to chance. Put a pro on your side. Get a proactive plan from a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters for your home or your business. They came out and did the exterior of our house. The team walked around the entire house with me, pointed out a couple spots that I needed some extra work done. I didn't even realize it. The teams at CertaPro, they've got your back. Call and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. It's CertaPro Painters, the best in the business. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. It's CertaPro Painters. Took care of me, they'll take care of you. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, the U.S. Attorney General weighs in on a Wisconsin arrest.
I'm Julia Fellow. Big numbers at the NFL draft.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound 43 backing up from just south of North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high rise. Northbound is heavy from about Kilbourne up to Keefe. We're still dealing with an accident on westbound 94's ramp from 175 northbound Brewers Boulevard off on the right shoulder. Northbound on 41 backups because of road work as well as a crash. The crash is just north of North Avenue off on the right shoulder. Road work is all along the way. We've got delays from about Blue Mound Road all the way up past Burleigh. And then northbound on Highway 100, right about at Burleigh, we still have that left lane blocked with that crash. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Breezy tonight, low of 39. Tomorrow, a very few clouds, mostly sunny, 50 to Lake, 57 inland. Right now, it's cloudy in Milwaukee at 50 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the FBI arrested Milwaukee County Circuit Judge over allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest. Judge Hannah Dugan appeared before a federal judge today on 2 felony counts of obstruction. Attorney General Pam Bondi telling Fox News Judge Dugan's actions put lives at risk.
We're sending a very strong message today. If you are harboring a fugitive, if you are helping hide one, if you are giving a TDA member guns, anyone who is illegally in this country, we will come after you and we will prosecute you.
Bondi says the Trump administration will target judges who oppose the president's growing immigration crackdown.
Demonstrators now outside the federal courthouse in Milwaukee. State Senator Chris Larson.
They want to use Hannah Dugan and her arrest as a flag to wave to everybody to be able to say we are going to intimidate and we are going to bully our way into our version of justice.
Judge Dugan's arraignment is set for next month.
Members of Marquette University staff are planning to hold a protest during the inauguration of the school's new president.
Dr. Kibo Ayun will formally be inaugurated at the Al McGuire Center next Tuesday, and some members of the faculty plan to protest. At issue is the university's refusal to recognize a union. This after more than 65% of the faculty had signed cards supporting a union last year. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says some staff plan to protest on campus during the ceremony as a way to call for the university to live up to its Catholic values. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Former New York Congressman George Santos sentenced to more than 7 years in prison on federal wire fraud and identity theft. Ann Donnelly is a Nassau County DA.
Designer clothes were more important to him than following the rule of law. Luxury more important to him than the oath he took to serve his country and the people who elected him. He had a responsibility to those people. They counted on him to deliver for them. Instead, they got an empty man in an empty designer suit, financed by fraud.
Santos served less than a year in Congress before being expelled in 2023 after the fraud was uncovered.
Trump administration funding cuts are hitting the Medical College of Wisconsin.
So far, a loss of about $5 million in research grants. President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. John Raymond.
There's a real prospect that we and others will not only need to redirect research, but also shrink our research enterprise.
The medical college has already frozen some hiring and halted development of a new physician assistant program.
For every dollar of NIH funding that comes into the state, there's an economic impact of eightfold in the community.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Newest member of the Packers, wide receiver Matthew Golden, 23rd overall select in round 1 of the NFL Draft. Ready to get to work with Jordan Love.
Talented quarterback can get out the pocket and make plays. Damn sure can throw the ball. So I'm letting him know as soon as I see him, man, you got a reliable target. You can trust me. But, trust is built over time. So going out there, like I said, and competing and gaining everyone's trust, that's where it first starts.
The Packers currently owned 1 pick in round 2 and 1 pick in round 3. Your Milwaukee Bucks look to protect home floor tonight in Game 3 of their playoff series against the Pacers. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock right here on WTMJ. Brewers begin 3-game series against the Cardinals tonight in St. Louis. Hear the game on 94.5 with coverage beginning at 6:40.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
Served up something extra special. We talked with the talented chef behind the all-new sushi experience at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. Discover how St. Kate is blending artistry and flavor with their exciting new sushi menu, crafted with the freshest ingredients, finest seafood, and a whole lot of creativity. Ready for your next unforgettable night out? Find the interview on WTMJ.com or the What's on Tap podcast. Learn more about the new sushi menu at stkatearts.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Kubota Orange Days from America's #1 selling compact trailer, zero-turn mower, and sweet utility vehicle dealer. Your local Kubota dealer is Bill's Power Center in Brookfield. I've been going to Bill's Power Center for more than a decade. I've bought things at Bill's. They've repaired stuff of mine at Bill's. And right now, you can get into $500 savings at Kubota Days. It goes April 30th through May 3rd. Get it on your calendar, April 30th through May 3rd. I will be there on the Saturday. I'm going to be out there hanging out. They won't let me drive anything because they're smarter than that. But I will be out there. Orange Days financing and savings available. Don't miss the chance to save on the Kubota you've always wanted. I might bring something orange home. Visit Bill's Power Center April 30th through May 3rd or billspowercenter.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Oh, tomorrow's a really big day. It is Stars and Stripes Honor Flight launching the season. I'm so excited about this. I know the city's really excited, all of our community. It's Stars and Stripes Honor Flight, mission number 79. It takes off tomorrow. I don't know why I'm pounding the desk. I just feel like I need to.
Exciting.
Karen Relke is the president of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight, and she is with us in the studio. Karen, it's always great to see you. Thanks for coming down here.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
All right. How excited is the team? How excited are you? It's here finally after a winter of planning.
We are ready. We are ready to give 116 vets their best day ever tomorrow.
That's a lot.
Amazing.
So it's 2 planes going out, and they will leave early in the morning. What time do the vets start reporting? I'm asking because I need to know when I need to report.
The first group at 5 a.m., the second group at 6. So we're up bright and early to honor the veterans.
I think it's super meaningful, and the emotions come pouring out once they go to some of the landmarks and they see their state represented, and they also go to the wall, the Vietnam Memorial Wall. Can you talk about that?
Yes. It's some veterans don't have the opportunity to get there on their own, whether it's cost prohibitive or they need, physical support, mobility support. So it's really an honor for us to be able to to take the vets to Washington to give them the opportunity to heal and gain some closure by seeing memorials like the wall for the Vietnam vets, the Korean War Memorial for the Korean vets, and we have 2 World War II vets flying tomorrow.
Yes.
So they will enjoy the World War II Memorial.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic. And we also have 7 Korean War vets, and those guys are up there in age, too. A lot of them are pushing 90 years old.
They are.
Karen Relke's with us. Karen, can you talk about the difference between how the organization looks after, takes care, and what to expect of a World War II Korean vet versus the 100-plus Vietnam vets, how the Vietnam vets are kind of in a different space?
Absolutely. But interestingly, they really enjoy being together. So while, we do maybe approach them slightly differently, they really enjoy spending the day together. The camaraderie is just a beautiful thing. And certainly the World War II vets sometimes need a little extra support, although one of the World War II vets that is flying with us tomorrow is almost 101 and apparently just bowled a 440 or some crazy thing.
Oh my gosh.
So he may not need too much support.
He'll be helping us.
Yes.
It's incredibly safe. There's so many volunteers. I love that your organization, everyone does it volunteer. No one's paid.
Yes. We have about 275 active volunteers that really are the heartbeat of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. Probably see 125 of them tomorrow at the airport alone. And they enjoy banding together as much as we do to help the veterans.
Stars and Stripes, Karen Relke is with us live in the studio. What's the most rewarding part about an Honor Flight Day?
You know, it's so personal for each of the veterans. Just as a quick example, one of our team members, who is a bus captain tomorrow, sent out the information to all of the veterans and guardians on her bus and already received a response from one of the guardians who said that she and her dad were so looking forward to it because they had been estranged for a while.
Wow.
And hadn't spent much time together as she was growing up. And she said, we're really connecting now and trying to, really revisit the lost time. So for them, that's going to be a beautiful day spent together. And for other vets, it's something different. Maybe it's finally getting the welcome home that they didn't get. For some, maybe it's connecting with other veterans if they're kind of isolated and don't belong to a veterans organization. It's a great day for them to share stories with other vets. So really personal for each vet.
Yeah, and get to know your family member on levels you maybe never have before.
Yep.
How do I help? This is getting more and more expensive to do.
It is. That is for sure. So, the easy answer is we'd love to see everyone out at the airport tomorrow night to welcome the veterans home. Arrive 7:30 or so. The first plane will come back at 8, the second one at 9:30. We love donations, of course, either online or mailed in. You can find more information at starsandstripeshonorflight.org. But what we really love is people who encourage the Vietnam or Korean War vet in their life who has not flown to do so. So very easy to find the application for that, starsandstripeshonorflight.org. Vietnam through World War II are being flown now.
I had somebody who just handed me 2 applications. It's very, very easy. Karen's right. Go to starsandstripeshonorflight.org. Basic information, instructions on how to get it to us. Get your veteran, get your loved one, get your neighbor on a flight. Help us out. It's going to be a fantastic day tomorrow. I can't believe it's here, Karen. I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome.
And you're going to have some great stories to tell on Monday because you've got some really interesting vets on your bus, John.
When's your next flight after this one?
After this one, we have one on May 17th.
Okay.
And then, right away. And then June 21st, and then we'll have 3 in the fall as well.
Let's go. It's time to fly.
We're ready.
Yeah, we're ready. So for information on all the stuff we talked about, starsandstripeshonorflight.org. It's so great, and it's an easy website to navigate. Starsandstripeshonorflight.org. Karen Relke is the president of Stars and Stripes. So good to have you here. Thank you, Karen.
Thanks. Hope to see everybody at the airport tomorrow.
It is 3:42 at WTMJ. Up next, renowned criminal defense attorney Frank Gimbel has a very strong opinion about the judge that was arrested in Milwaukee County for allegedly trying to help someone wanted by ICE hide out and not get arrested. Gimbel with us live up next.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Public service, courage, bravery, sacrifice. These are terms used to describe those who work in public safety who go above and beyond each and every day of their lives. If you have a police officer, dispatcher, fire professional, or an emergency nurse who impacted your life, in May we'll honor the best examples of paying it forward, sharing the tremendous stories of these local heroes. Nominate your local hero at WTMJ.com. Click on the Salute to Service banner at the top, or by texting SALUTE to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank.
Heiser Automotive Group is making it rain with ultimate savings. It's our April shower splash sale, and we're washing away high prices so you can drive off in the car of your dreams at an unbeatable price. Enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound experience where peace of mind comes standard, rain or shine. Plus, check out our seasonal service specials to keep your vehicle ready for every spring adventure. Hurry, these savings won't last long. Visit Heiser.com today and drive away with a deal that'll have you singing in the rain.
Dealer for complete details.
John Mercure here for the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Cancer treatments are constantly evolving. Clinical trials are an opportunity to try newly discovered treatment options. We talked to Dr. Samim Abedin, a medical oncologist with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, to learn all about clinical trials, their safety, why you might consider them, and much more. You can hear that conversation along with all of our past everyday health discussions by clicking the drop-down menu at WTMJ.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. We talk all the time about Tri-County Contracting, the place to go for roofs and siding, but don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also does windows. Need a new front entry door? Tri-County Contracting, or maybe a patio door that's always jammed. Get your free estimates today. They've been helping homeowners like you for 46 years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, oh yeah, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Who's hungry? Mark your calendar April 19th through the 27th for Lake Geneva Restaurant Week. This culinary adventure showcases dozens of the area's top restaurants, serving up exclusive breakfast, lunch, and dinner menus at unbeatable savings. From casual cafes to elegant fine dining, the choices are endless as we celebrate Lake Geneva's amazing dining scene. Check out participating restaurants, menus, and all the tasty details at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for distinctive dining.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods, our sponsor on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lassiga.
Northbound on 41, backing up now from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past an accident that's just north of North Avenue on the right shoulder. Delays continue all the way up past Capitol Drive to Hampton. On the southbound side, backups from just before Highway 145 all the way down to about Silver Spring. Northbound 43, backing up from Kilbourne up to Keefe. Southbound is going to be a bit tight right around that North Avenue curve down through the Marquette and over the high rise. And we're seeing some delays along the bypass. Southbound from just south of Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound all the way to about Forest Home. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Breezy tonight, low of 39. Tomorrow, a few clouds, then mostly sunny. 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Sunday, partly cloudy. 56 at the lake, 63 inland. A chance of showers and storms Monday. Then it's going to be sunny and warm. 72 at the lake, 78 inland. Tuesday, scattered showers possible in the morning with storms, and it'll be breezy. A high of 70 degrees. Right now, it's cloudy in Milwaukee at 49 degrees.
Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan has been charged with 2 felonies for her role in allegedly trying to help an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest after he appeared in her courtroom. The 65-year-old Dugan is accused of obstructing a U.S. agency, concealing an individual to prevent an arrest. She herself was arrested. She has been charged. She has been booked. The suspect, by the way, snuck out of the building, tried to evade officers, fled, and was eventually arrested outside. Frank Gimbel is a renowned criminal defense attorney and former federal prosecutor. He is with us this afternoon. Frank, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, John. Oh, it's my pleasure to be with you.
Okay, so the allegation is that she helped this guy, and it's very detailed in the criminal complaint, sneak out a side door. She helped him go in areas where defendants usually do not go. She said herself these people are not usually allowed in these areas. Should she have been charged?
Well, whether or not she should have been charged, John, I don't know, because I'm hearing you tell me what's in the complaint. I have not seen the complaint. The questions that are associated with the charge that I understand has been levied against her, the charges that have been levied against her, essentially obstructing a federal investigation, seem to me to require a proof that what she did had as one of its ingredients, which would kind of help define the intent required to convict her of essentially avoiding the federal law. And my sense is, of the facts that I've seen on this case, is that what she was attempting to do was avoid having her courtroom be the playground for the federal agents who were there to take this person into custody. And I think that's an outrage.
But they agreed to not arrest this person in the courtroom. They agreed with her bailiff and deputies, Frank, that they would wait. They followed her suggestion. They said, we'll do it in the hallway, so that wouldn't be her playground,
And the
would
hallway
it?
is a public place, they said.
I am not buying that notion that it's not a place that's within the framework of her venue. If they would have said, we're going to wait outside the door on the sidewalk, I have no problem with that. But to make the judge responsible, essentially, to facilitate this person being taken into custody by the feds troubles me.
Because they had a warrant. Did you see that?
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. But they were in an area where a person should be able to go and do the business of that person in the public building where disputes are resolved. And I assume this person, and I'm not an advocate for the person who was arrested, I'm an advocate for the judge. I assume that the person had some justifiable cause to be in the courthouse, justifiable cause to be within the framework of Judge Dugan's courtroom. And I think that makes that territory, if you will, based on my experience of 65 years of practicing law, much of it as both a federal prosecutor and defender of people accused of federal crimes, inappropriate. There are very simple methods for serving process outside of that building. And by and large, if there is an acquaintanceship between the federal law enforcement agency looking for somebody and that somebody, there's usually a communications vehicle within which that person can be told, be at the federal building at such and such a room on such and such a day. And I have had that happen in hundreds of cases, literally, over the 65 years I've practiced law. Now, that's not to say that every person that I represented got that treatment. But where there was a communications network between either the lawyer and or the person and the federal authorities, there usually is a voluntary surrender, just like they should have done with Judge Dugan. And that's what troubles me, I think, more than anything, that they went to arrest her in the courthouse instead of saying to her, we're going to charge you with a federal felony, show up with your lawyer on such and such a date so that we can hand you the charges and you can be booked.
So, Frank,
they didn't do that.
let's revisit the first point that you were making about whether it's the right place. Law enforcement has said, and judges have weighed in and said, I just read this afternoon, that the courthouse is actually the safest place and the smartest place. People have had to go through security. They've had to go through metal detectors. They know there's not going to be a weapon. It's a public place. Why would the courthouse not be the safest and most appropriate place to arrest someone who has a warrant out for them?
Well, I'm not saying it's not a safe place to arrest them. I'm saying that it's not an appropriate place to arrest them because I think that when somebody has legitimate business in the courts of the state and they're in the courthouse for that legitimate business, that they have a right to go and attend to that business without fear of apprehension. And I think that a side effect of the case, and I'm not here espousing anything in favor of the person who they were looking to take into custody. I'm here talking about why I think it's inappropriate to accuse Judge Dugan of some federal crime as a consequence of her trying to preserve, if you will, what I think is a reasonable sanctity of the federal courtroom for people's business.
So he was charged and arrested with domestic abuse, punching and choking 3 people. They fingerprinted him when they arrested him. And that's when the fingerprint came up that a decade ago, he was deported when he was caught coming here illegally from Mexico and Arizona. He apparently was living here in Wisconsin for more than a year. The judge apparently, according to court records, hastily adjourned this, did not tell the victims who wanted to testify, according to Marcy's law, and also did not tell the prosecutor that it was adjourned until she escorted him out in that jury room where it was a private hallway. Are there any problems with that?
Well, you mean problems from the point of view of the behavior of the judge?
Yes.
I suppose that if I were on the other side of that litigation, I might say that why weren't we informed that there was some third-party interest in the players in this controversy? And I think that maybe that would have been reasonable. But I think that the feds showing up and arresting Judge Dugan in the courthouse was wrong, bad form, and I think inconsistent with the way that my experience has suggested criminal cases in the federal system ought to be commenced.
How bad is it that she's quoted saying this is ridiculous?
I'm sorry?
How bad is it that she's quoted saying this is ridiculous when she was notified?
How are you asking me how bad it is that she said that?
Yeah.
I don't know what she said or when she said it or under what circumstances she said it. But where was she when she said that this is ridiculous? Was that when she was responding to the federal charges?
Yes, when she learned of it.
Was she responding to them coming to take her away from the venue where she was a public official?
It was when she learned of it.
Okay, I think that it is ridiculous to go and arrest her in the courtroom. Okay, I think it's ridiculous. Whether or not the charges are ridiculous or not, I have no ability to comment on those because they'll play themselves out in the federal building. What offends me is when somebody comes and takes into custody a public official whose presence is known in the community within which they live and in the community within which they work. And I think that they ought to take those people into custody away from the premises within which they work. I just think it's bad form for the feds to go into the courthouse and take a judge into custody. And all my experience has been, and when I say all my experience, I've had cases where they've arrested my clients even though I noted my appearance as their lawyer, where they didn't know where he would be or she would be or they would be. But here, Hannah Dugan is not hiding out in some place in a tent or without an address or without a place to be found. And I think to go to her workplace, a public place, and take her into custody was a humiliation. And I think it was intended to be a humiliation by those people who made the decision to arrest her. And whether she wins or loses her cases is not a part of my decision here or my opinion. My opinion is you don't go in the courthouse to arrest a judge for an offense of a different jurisdiction. I think that was bad form. And
Attorney Frank Gimbel. Hey, Frank, we got to leave it there. I appreciate the time you took with us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay, I've known Frank Gimbel a long time. I respect Frank Gimbel. I disagree with him on almost every single thing he just said. Bad form. This guy is alleged to have punched somebody in the face 30 times. I say, first off, he said he should be allowed to do business without fear of being arrested. No, if you're charged with a crime, if you punch somebody 30 times, you should fear being arrested. You should fear it when you go to the courthouse, the gas station, the convenience store, your bank, your dry cleaner. You should fear being arrested. And the judge being arrested in the courthouse, they knew the judge was in the courthouse. The judge, they believe, had just broken the law. I have no problem with them throwing the cuffs on her and taking her out of the courthouse. We're getting hung up on where the arrest took place. If prosecutors and law enforcement believe they have the evidence to make the arrest, then make the arrest wherever it is safest and be done with it. It's 3:57 at WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The fact is, without us, you'll pay more. When you buy advertising, Unless you're seeking out every avenue that the chosen medium has to offer and negotiating with every entity to find out what the true floor is, there's no way you can know if you really did get your best deal. In fact, there's a big chance that you'll overpay. We've done all the legwork, and with a very high volume of consistent year-in and year-out billing, we've uncovered rates that we're sure will surprise you. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. The proof is in the pudding. Advertisers that hire us stick with us for years and years because they trust us, because we always promptly respond to customer needs, and because bottom line, we get results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Clients page to see who trusts us and check out a long list of real advertising success. Then hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grew your business. Anderson-Smith.com.
Vita Hearing Care, they're the best in the business. Local family-owned, Mount Pleasant and Waterford. They are so pleasant. I love Jeff and Cynthia, the owners. They've got those 2 locations. Life is really sweeter with better hearing. It's about Vita. They changed my life. I hear better now. Things are better for Michelle. They're better for my family. They're better for my TV. I'm not wearing out the volume anymore. It's Vita Hearing Care. Check them out at VitaHearingCare.com. VITA HearingCare.com. They've got specials going on. They've got the best technology. They will help you hear better. Your life and the life of those around you will be a more complete life. It's VitaHearingCare.com.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with the group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Say hello to the future of drinking with Nowadays. While Green Bay's on the clock, enjoy a cannabis-infused spirit designed to deliver a light and buzzy experience without the negative effects of alcohol. Ditch the booze. Keep the fun. Drink Nowadays. Look for Nowadays at your local retailer or bar. Steel, walk behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel. Let's go mow.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this spring? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
The Bucks are taking the playoffs back home.
My mindset right now is game 3. I know what I got to do.
To turn things around against the Pacers.
Giannis the other way. Gallops down the lane and plunges it through with a right-hand jam. There was nothing in between him and the rim.
Our Game 3 coverage starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot-Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, arrested on obstruction charges.
I'm Julia Fellow. What to expect tonight in Green Bay?
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We got a new crash now on the ramp from 84th Street to westbound 894. So careful with that. We've got another crash. This one is on 43 northbound, right about at Locust. The center lane is blocked right now. Looks like there was a semi involved, so you do want to be extra careful. Possibly semi. I'm not sure. Just be careful as you're driving up. You are seeing a basic parking lot out of the Marquette up past that scene. On the southbound side, slowing down from Capitol Drive, down past the scene with Looky-Loos, and then beyond that, from just before Fond du Lac Avenue, down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, breezy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 57. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan appeared before a federal judge today on 2 felony counts of obstruction. She was arrested after allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest when ICE agents tried to arrest him. Protesters gathered outside of the downtown federal courthouse. Political director for the Wisconsin Working Families Party, Max.
Trump administration is trying to strike fear in the heart of local elected officials who are defending our immigrant communities, and that's absolutely not okay. So we're here today to say that we will not rest until Judge Dugan, these charges are dropped, and that the Trump administration admits the mistake that they made, just like Kash Patel took that tweet down this morning.
Judge Dugan's arraignment is set for May 15th.
An overnight home invasion turns deadly. A 70-year-old victim was battered and killed inside a home near 8th and Galena. A known suspect remains at large.
Trump administration trying to put pressure on Russia and Ukraine to finalize a peace deal. Negotiations are continuing today with a special envoy meeting Russian President Putin in Moscow after Russia launched another strike overnight in Ukraine. CBS's Natalie Brand.
A major sticking point in negotiations is Crimea, seized by Russia in 2014. In a new interview with Time magazine, President Trump said Crimea will stay with Russia. But Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he cannot accept that because it goes against his country's constitution. Both President Zelensky and Trump will be in Rome for the Pope's funeral on Saturday, where the president says it's possible that they'll talk. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The WIAA approves name, image, and likeness opportunities for high school athletes. Member schools voted in favor of the provision 1 year after a similar proposal was voted down. The NIL changes are expected to take effect next month.
Coming up, more than just love for football in Green Bay.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:04.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
If you haven't called Siding Unlimited for new windows, what are you waiting for? This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I want to share with you a couple stories. Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. Loved her windows were warmer and her roof didn't leak. Also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
We didn't write the headline. The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Market shifts, economic uncertainty, and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. No doubt, standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil, and we're totally on board with that. But retirement planning isn't a set-it-and-forget-it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized financial, retirement, estate, and tax plans that adapt as needed and put your goals first always. Already with another firm, but getting the feeling you're lost in the shuffle where they just can't keep up? A second opinion could be the smartest move you could make. If you're managing it yourself, we'll fill in the gaps with professional precision. You work hard to build your future. Don't leave it to chance. Put a pro on your side. Get a proactive plan from a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:06.
Love was in the air at the NFL draft for Eric Erickson of Monroe. The Packers' first-round pick ended up being the perfect time to propose.
So I waited till everything was green and gold up on the stage and picked 23, and who knew? I ended up picking a wife. Hell yes.
So they were getting VIP treatment at the draft after winning a trip in the sweepstakes. Vicky Meyer of Monroe said yes.
If Jason had proposed to you at the NFL draft, would that have been a good choice of location or not?
Depends on how big the ring was.
That's such a good answer.
Yeah. If it was small or less than a carrot, it'd been no.
It would have been no matter where.
It'd been on the ground.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers have a new star fit for the green and gold, wide receiver Matthew Golden.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft are tonight in Green Bay. The Bucs return to Fiserv Forum tonight. down 0-2 to the Pacers. Coverage begins with Buck Shoot-Around at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. And the Brewers head to St. Louis for a 3-game series against the Cardinals. Hear that game from Busch Stadium on 94.5 ESPN starting at 6:40.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:08.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like a free Wild Bite fishing kit when you spend $50 on fishing gear. Save $30 on all Curt towing hitches, and all Blazer trailer lighting is 25% off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those folks with late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They literally have specialized training at Azura. I've been in their places. It's kindness at the core. I love how they treat the people who live there. Wisconsin-based and family-owned, it is Azura. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. Throughout the state, it's compassion and empathy. It's doing things the right way every day. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, Julie and I are here. Hope you're having a good Friday. Getting ready for that weekend. Big news today. Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan has been charged with 2 felonies after being arrested for her role in allegedly trying to help an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest after he appeared in the courtroom. Our leaders in the city and county are speaking out on this. WTMJ's Sean Brinda is with us live in the studio with that part of the story. Good afternoon, Sean.
Good afternoon, John and Julia. The arrest of Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan by FBI authorities has Milwaukee leaders frustrated with the Trump administration. Mayor Cavalier Johnson addressed the media earlier this afternoon and said the arrest upended Judge Dugan's right to a fair and due process and sends a bad message to people who are assigned to go to court.
My concern, again, here is strictly about the tactics used as it relates to this judge and what ICE has done as it relates to other individuals who've been arrested in the courthouse. It sends a chilling effect to other people who will participate in our judicial process here in Milwaukee. And when folks do not step up, when folks do not participate in the judicial process, that makes our community less safe.
That frustration also spread to County Executive David Crowley, who is encouraging for a safer county courthouse for all prosecutors and defendants, regardless of immigration status.
Folks need to realize that our county courthouse, all of our public hallways are public. This is a public entity. And so when it comes down to the courtrooms themselves, that is up to what the judges are going to do. And so we, again, are going to continue to work with the sheriff's office, our chief judge, to figure out how we continue to move forward. But at the end of the day, we need this to be a safe space. And even if you are an undocumented immigrant, we need you to be able to understand that this is a safe space for us.
In regards to how federal officials acted, Mayor Johnson pointed out that the Trump administration wanted to send a message.
I really do wish that the Trump administration would focus less on settling scores with perceived potential enemies and focus their attention more on things that really matter. Focus their attention things on like fixing the economy that is in free fall, or making some progress on settling armed conflicts that are happening around the world, or remedying the mistakes that they've made as they've slashed through important federal programs, things like we're feeling right here in Milwaukee with some of the layoffs at the Center for Disease Control.
Overall, both Mayor Johnson and County Executive Crowley say Judge Dugan's arrest was nothing more than showboating, and regardless of what Dugan is being charged for, should have been arrested with far less federal agents.
All right, Sean, thank you for the update. Could you cut up with them? I appreciate it. It seems you're spending a lot of time arguing over where people were arrested and not the fact that they did something wrong.
Including the
and
last
were
hour.
arrested.
They were the lawyer was mad at where the judge was arrested.
Right. They're not even arguing that the judge shouldn't have been arrested.
Where
the judge was arrested.
And where this guy was.
Is that what it's come down to? That we're upset about where the judge was arrested? If there's probable cause that you did something wrong, I don't care where you're arrested. You know where you're arrested? Where they can find you. I'm not saying she was going to run away. I don't believe that. I don't think she was a flight risk. They could have arrested her at home. They could have, called her up and said very nicely, where would you like us to arrest you?
Yes, they can do that. Yeah,
No.
that's often.
If you did something wrong, as soon as they can find you, I believe they should arrest you. You get due process. You're presumed innocent until you're found guilty. But where they can arrest you, they can arrest you.
They can do
If
that,
you're in a
yeah.
two-piece on the beach and they see you on the beach, then arrest you on the
Oh.
beach in your bikini.
Please don't do that to me. If that ever happens to me.
If you ever
Give
get
me
in
my
trouble,
cover up.
I'm going to tell them to wait until you're in your swimsuit to
Mr.
arrest
Agent,
you.
can I please have my cover up?
So you hide behind an umbrella
yeah, I
down
need
on
a
Bradford
towel.
Beach.
Yeah.
It is 4:13 at WTMJ. We're going to switch gears up next. The State of the Air report is out. How safe is the air here in Wisconsin, in southeast Wisconsin? Well, we could be doing a little better. We'll explain straight ahead.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. It's the time of year in Wisconsin when we count how many times spring starts and stops. Are we in our third spring? Is it the fourth? It's easy to lose track. Then you get whacked with another day of winter, and it starts all over again. Throw in a day where it's really, really warm. And you know what? Your furnace and air conditioner are getting a serious workout, sometimes both running in the same week. Get on the schedule with the team that I'm on the schedule with. Dave Drake Camp, whether you just nursed an old furnace through another winter or are counting down the days to consistent warmer spring weather, now's the time to give my friends at Dave Drake Camp a call. These aren't pushy salespeople who come into your home and try to talk you into buying a whole new system. Trust me, if Drake Camp suggests something like that, it's time to retire your old home comfort system. Dave Drake Camp's team is professional, kind, and always honest. That's why we've welcomed them into our home for so many years. With Dave Drake Camp, you get peace of mind knowing that your home will always remain comfortable. They're the best in the business. DaveDrakeCamp.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. We talk all the time about Tri-County Contracting, the place to go for roofs and siding, but don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also does windows. Need a new front entry door? Tri-County Contracting, or maybe a patio door that's always jammed. Get your free estimates today. They've been helping homeowners like you for 46 years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
We're sponsored by the Wisconsin State Fair. Deals end April 27th.
Big groups save big at Wisconsin State Fair. Take advantage of discounted group tickets for parties of 25 or more at wistatefair.com. Hurry, deals end April 27th.
Traffic and weather. It's Debbie Lazaga. Hey there, Deb.
Hey there, John. Yeah, northbound 43, right at Locust, we have the two right lanes blocked with a crash. So watch out for the big delays coming out of the Marquette all the way up to Locust. Southbound, folks slowing down to take a look at what's going on. So we got delays from Capitol Drive down past Locust. Back on the brakes right through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Northbound 41, an accident still on the board at North Avenue off on the right shoulder. Delays coming in from before Watertown Plank Road pretty much all the way up to Silver Spring. And then one more accident. This is a crash on the ramp from 84th Street to westbound 894. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Breezy tonight, a low of 39. Tomorrow, a few clouds, then mostly sunny, 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Sunday, partly cloudy, 56 at the lake, 63 inland. Monday, a chance of showers and storms, then it's going to become partly sunny and warm, 72 at the lake, 78 inland. Tuesday, morning scattered showers and storms, and it'll be breezy, a high of 70 degrees. Right now, it's cloudy and 49 degrees in Milwaukee. At 417, Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDrakeCamp.com.
All right, so the State of the Air report for the American Lung Association is out. I love what they do at the American Lung Association. They look after the air. They protect all of us. If you can't breathe, nothing else matters. We've got to have clean air. And guess what? Wisconsin and parts of Wisconsin didn't do so great. We've got work to do. Molly Collins is the advocacy director for Wisconsin and South Dakota at the American Lung Association, and she is with us this afternoon. Hey, Molly, thanks for spending part of your Friday with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, before we dive into individual little parts, give us the overview. Kind of, I know it's hard to generalize, but what are your key takeaways for how Wisconsin did?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our 26th annual report. So we've been looking at this data for a long time, 26 years, and the air quality in the Milwaukee area, including, Racine and Waukesha County, got worse this last year. Residents are being exposed to more unhealthy ozone and particle pollution, and the Milwaukee metro area ranks 26th worst in the nation for ozone pollution, and 50th worst in the nation for particle pollution.
Why was Sheboygan so bad? It was 24th worst out of 25.
Sheboygan is also really does poorly on this report, and it's largely because of the sort of way the air flows over Lake Michigan. So Sheboygan winds up collecting more pollution than they produce.
Interesting.
It's not their fault. Poor Sheboygan. They're getting
it's not entirely their fault.
Right.
You can't blame
Are they getting
them.
the Chicago air? Are they getting the air from Michigan? What are they getting?
Yeah, they get the Chicago air.
Boo. Clay Matthews was right.
It's called the Malibu of the Midwest, if you didn't know.
That's
Molly.
right. That's right. Hey, let me ask you a more detailed question, Molly, about Milwaukee. So 50th worst for particle pollution. Now, the glass half full guy says, okay, well, we're the 35th biggest city in America. So if we're 50th worst for pollution, aren't we kind of doing not terrible? How does that compare to years past? Can you give us any little detail on Milwaukee County?
Well, we do measure, 228 metro areas. So you're right about our sort of size and our relative pollution. But, I think we could do better. And I think there's some good efforts to start making our air pollution a little cleaner here in the Milwaukee area. Both the city and the county are working on climate plans and looking at the way that they put pollution into the air and how they can reduce that. And I think that's a really hopeful thing.
So one of the ways that air quality is judged is by orange days, red days, purple days. Can you explain the days, the orange days, the red days?
So, anytime your air quality app, you can download an app onto your phone, either the EPA's app or there are a bunch of other sort of commercial air quality apps. I think Apple just has it in their weather. When it's orange or red, you should really evaluate, based on your own health and your own pre-existing conditions. So if you have asthma or heart issues, you're going to want to stay inside. And even if you don't, on those red or purple days, you probably want to stay inside even if you don't have a pre-existing issue, because all of us can be impacted by those, and they might cause, they definitely can. That those bad air quality days can cause asthma attacks or heart attacks, strokes, and other sorts of issues, including lung cancer.
How can we do better?
I think we can all look at sort of how we contribute to poor air quality, whether it's can we combine rides? Can we use our car a little bit less? To more policy-focused areas like, working with our elected officials to think about how our municipalities might do a little better. Can they start transitioning their fleet to electric cars, or, reduce the pollution or reduce the electricity used in buildings by replacing the light bulbs? I mean, there's a lot of little things that we individually can do, and then that our government can do better.
The ALA's Molly Collins is with us. So a question from a texter, it relates directly to what you just said. Is air quality due to vehicle emissions? How much of the equation is that?
Vehicle emissions, our transportation sector is a big part of poor air quality in Wisconsin. It's one of the major polluting factors. We also still in Wisconsin have some coal-fired power plants, and those are obviously very polluting. So, building more solar, getting more wind power. All of those things would really help us clean up our grid and likewise clean up our air quality.
Has any official reacted to your report?
Yeah, I think they use it as an idea of sort of how we're doing broadly. I think several local officials have reached out. We have been part of the county climate plan for Milwaukee County, which was signed into law this morning. So, I think it's something that our elected officials have started to pay more attention to because they know it's a health concern for folks. And so we really need to, in order to be a healthy community, we need to make sure people can breathe healthy air.
Molly, you're closer to this than any of the rest of us. Would you say after reading the report, seeing the numbers, and know that in some areas were better, some areas were worse, would you say you are more optimistic moving forward or more concerned?
I mean, I think I'm optimistic that so many people seem to be taking it seriously. I mean, we have a worse report this year in this area because we had more extreme heat days, we had more wildfire smoke that came into Wisconsin and that started in Wisconsin. So, I think there are extreme weather issues, but that's forcing people to pay attention and to address it in a new way.
Molly Collins is the advocacy director for Wisconsin and South Dakota for the American Lung Association. Molly, we hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
It is 424 at WTMJ. Let's check those markets. The S&P 500 gains for the fourth straight day. It's the longest win streak since January, as a matter of fact. Big tech was on the rise. The NASDAQ was up 217 points today. That's another 1.25%. The S&P was up 40 points. That is 0.75%. The Dow on the day was up 20 points. That's 0.1%. Another winning day for Wall Street. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
April is Global Volunteer Month. Wisconsin's volunteers are transforming our communities every day through their acts of service. Wondering how you can give back? Find the perfect volunteer opportunities at volunteerwisconsin.org or contact your local United Way or volunteer center. On volunteerwisconsin.org, you can filter opportunities by location, organization, cause, accessibility, and more to find your best fit. VolunteerWisconsin.org is hosted by United Way of Wisconsin and Serve Wisconsin. Paid for by United Way of Wisconsin.
Public service, courage, bravery, sacrifice. These are terms used to describe those who work in public safety who go above and beyond each and every day of their lives. If you have a police officer, dispatcher, fire professional, or an emergency nurse who impacted your life, in May we'll honor the best examples of paying it forward, sharing the tremendous stories of these local heroes. Nominate your local hero at WTMJ.com. Click on the Salute to Service banner at the top, or by texting SALUTE to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank.
Otto's Wine and Spirits, serving Milwaukee since 1945. Otto's, it's their 80th birthday. It's their 80th birthday. You do something right when you're around for 80 years. I know they do something right because I love to shop there. Employee-owned, super friendly staff, super knowledgeable. They have the best selection at Otto's. They have the best value at Otto's. There's multiple locations. I know you've driven by them. There's one on Brown Deer Road. There's one on the east side of Milwaukee. They're all over the place. My store is in Menominee Falls. Stop in. Check them out. It's a great vibe, and they'll beat any advertised price all day long. Wisconsin strong, it's Otto's.
You've probably been hearing a lot of buzz about tariffs.
I haven't.
Really?
What's a tariff? It's a tax on imported goods.
It makes these imported goods more expensive.
Oh, that explains why I've never heard of tariffs.
Why?
Because 92.3% of the furniture at Penny Mustard is made in the USA.
True.
In fact, most of it is built by local craftsmen and women right here in the Midwest.
And locally sourced furniture will never have a tariff on it.
So when you invest in new furniture at Penny Mustard, you won't be paying extra taxes and shipping costs.
Besides, tariffs or no tariffs, our American-made Penny Mustard Strong furniture will last generations longer than IFE-made furniture shipped in from overseas.
You get so much more for your money when you buy American.
Tell me more about these tariffs.
Can we talk about this later? I'm so tired of hearing about them.
Oh, so I guess you can say that all this talk about tariffs is taxing.
I see what you did there.
PennyMustard.com.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin.
For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
A whole day dedicated to you, the WTMJ listener. Come celebrate WTMJ Day with us. Your favorite WTMJ hosts like John Mercure, Jessica Ty,
Julia Fellow, let's
and myself,
go.
Steve Scafidi.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Kristen. Okay, many more. Enjoy food, drinks, Vinny and Eric.
Greg Matzik. We go on and on. Everybody's going to be there.
And hanging out with us at WTMJ, plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Twins at AmFam Field. Get more information, secure your tickets at WTMJday.com. WTMJday.com. Tickets go fast. Sign up right now. We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, May 17th, sponsored by Woodman's.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. This Saturday on The Fix-It Show, I'll be available to discuss any outdoor projects that involve building your own backyard oasis. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer, so anything decks and more. The more part, outdoor kitchens, pavers, retaining walls, screen rooms, and these new automated pergolas that double as a screen room. Just amazing. Tune in this Saturday, or if you can't wait, stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and let's start your next project.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Save big money on everyday items you need at Menards. Eliminate odors with Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers. They're perfect for basements, attics, closets, and more. Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers work to attract and trap excess moisture to create noticeably cleaner, fresher air. Save big on Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Traffic and weather sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story was the arrest of a Milwaukee County judge just for show.
I'm Julia Fellow. Big plans for day 2 of the NFL Draft.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Northbound 43 remains a parking lot. The 2 right lanes are blocked at Locust, where there is a crash. We've got backups coming through the Marquette all the way up to that point. The southbound side slowing down just before Capitol Drive down past Locust. And the westbound 94 backing up from about 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. More delays then just before Moreland Road, taking you all the way past Brookfield Road. On the eastbound side, most of the delays are happening from just before 84th Street through the stadium. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Breezy tonight, a low of 39. Tomorrow, it's going to be mostly sunny. A few clouds in the morning, though. 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Right now, it's cloudy and 49 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says the arrest of Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan by the FBI was more about hype than community safety. WTMJ Sean Brindas at City Hall.
The arrest of Judge Hannah Dugan has Milwaukee leaders up in arms. Friday afternoon, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson said that the arrest of Judge Dugan was for show purposes only and that the federal government had no excuse to detain Dugan in such a way.
I want people to have their day in court. I want people to hold folks accountable in our judicial system, but the actions of this administration are driving people away from doing that, and that's not good for public safety in Milwaukee.
Judge Dugan will reappear in court May 15th. From Milwaukee City Hall, Sean Brinda, WTMJ. WTMJ News.
Dugan is charged with 2 felony counts of obstruction over allegedly helping undocumented immigrant Eduardo Flores Ruiz evade arrest. Much more on this. Law enforcement communication expert Annie Schwartz joins us at 5:05.
A 41-year-old man from Union Grove faces child sexual enticement charges. There's a nonprofit that protects children from online predators that apparently caught him and took him to Mount Pleasant Police. Now he is charged and accused of 5 felonies, including child sexual enticement of a 14-year-old girl for sex. His name is Stephen LaChance. Cash bond is set at $10,000.
The accused killer of a healthcare CEO is pleading not guilty. Luigi Mangione faces federal charges related to terrorism targeting the healthcare industry for the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York sidewalk in December. CBS's Anna Schechter.
Reporters who were in court watched him enter court and speak very confidently when he was asked if he understood the charges against him, if he had seen the indictment, and asked to enter his plea. He said in a loud, clear voice, not guilty. That gives you a little bit of a sense of his frame of mind.
If convicted in the federal case, Mangione could face the death penalty.
Helping greyhounds find a forever home, Ginger Gill of Greyhound Pets of America tells Wisconsin's Midday News how the organization trains retired racing greyhounds for home life.
Greyhounds are not used to stairs. They've never had to go up and down a step. They also don't know what patio doors are. Ceiling fans can kind of freak them out, too.
Oh, goodness.
You know, so it just takes a little time. If no one has greyhound experience, we send them to a foster.
Greyhounds live 10 to 14 years and have little to no health issues.
NFL Draft. They're pleased with how smoothly day 1 went. Brown County officials confirm only 1 arrest and 3 ejections from the crowds in Green Bay. John Barker is Senior VP for Global Events for the NFL.
Cannot thank Green Bay enough. People thought maybe it was too small. You turned out en masse. We could not be happier. Congratulations, Green Bay. You've done a heck of a job hosting this draft. 2 more days to go.
Tonight, gates at the draft are open with round 2 of picks starting at 6 p.m.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The newest member of the Packers is wide receiver Matthew Golden, 23rd overall selection in round 1 of the NFL Draft. Ready to get to work with Jordan Love. And the Packers currently own 1 pick in round 2 and 1 pick in round 3. Your Milwaukee Bucks look to protect the home floor in Game 3 of their playoff series against the Pacers. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock. And tonight, the Brewers begin 3-game series against the Cardinals in St. Louis.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin. Think about your curb appeal. It's starting to pop right now. Everything's starting to sprout. I'm getting blooms. I'm getting some flowers actually already in my yard. Landworks Wisconsin put those flowers there last fall. Absolutely beautiful. They're top tier. They helped me create an entirely new outdoor environment. I'm so happy with our yard, and I can't believe how affordable it was. Think gorgeous new plantings, inviting pathways, expertly designed spaces to relax. They even did the lighting at our house, and they did it right all the way every day. Call Landworks or visit landworkswisconsin.com. I love these guys. Let's make your yard the envy of the neighborhood with Landworks.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde is at the draft. He will join us coming up in less than 10 minutes. But first, the Catholic community mourns the loss of Pope Francis. The NFL Draft kicks off in Green Bay. A major arrest in Milwaukee County and more. It's the Week in Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, accompanied by the Easter Bunny.
Happy Easter. And enjoy your lives.
And there's always that full-size guy in the bunny costume who stands next to the president.
Greg hates the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, I got it. It's just deep wounds from when I was a kid, Scott. The Easter Bunny freaks me out.
I've surprised him. I just doesn't everybody else have a thing?
No objection to yours. I was just processing it.
Fair enough.
The bell at St. Peter's Basilica tolling amid news that Pope Francis has died. The Pope last seen Easter Sunday blessing the faithful from the balcony of St. Peter's.
Buonasera. Few expected a pope who would so radically transform the face of the papacy.
He celebrated Easter with the faithful, and now he celebrates Easter in heaven.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world.
There was a humanity about Pope Francis that you couldn't help but love because he simply cared about people.
Bucks guard Damian Lillard tells reporters he will play tonight in Game 2 of the playoffs.
I'm going to give everything that I got. I'll just build from there.
This is Lillard with his foot on the line, but he sinks it anyway. That's good to get his rhythm going, at least, if nothing less.
It's all Crown Fire. North flank is Crown Fire.
Parts of the Garden State Parkway shut down, smoke obscuring the roadway, and more than 1,300 buildings threatened, including a former nuclear plant.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale.
How does one remove an abandoned boat bogged down with sand and water weighing an estimated 25,000 pounds?
We have to create a lake around it.
To have, a nuisance like this on the beach is not a good look for Milwaukee.
A ceremonial tree planting marks the spot where hundreds of Abundant Life Christian School students were reunited with family after a deadly mass shooting in December.
Katie Garno is the clinic manager. She says the team of providers didn't hesitate in their care.
As soon as we knew, then it was kind of an all hands on deck.
And those healthcare workers, much like the ALCS community, are still recovering from that day.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's foundation has withdrawn program funding from the Milwaukee Muslim Women's Coalition over concerns regarding pro-Palestinian views expressed in an op-ed written by Janan Najib.
The question is, what are their guidelines? They never set any guidelines.
Tonight is the night in Green Bay. Months of preparation, years in fact, thousands flocking to Titletown for the 2025 NFL Draft.
Approximately 250,000 fans are expected to be on hand when the three-day NFL Draft kicks off at Lambeau Field.
As NFL fans begin to arrive, business owners outside the Titletown district, like Titletown Brewing Scott Kraft, tell us they're hoping for a good turnout.
I'm a little cautious right now. I think we're going to get a good crowd. Hopefully it'll be a Packer game on steroids.
Jones is confident his new team still has the Packers number.
Aaron, are you going to beat us twice this year?
I hope so.
I say Green Bay, you say Packers. Green Bay. Packers. Green Bay. Packers. Go. Pack, go.
It felt like a zoo here for the first day of the NFL Draft.
Chicken tenders, chicken wings, NFL Draft.
I am in our former yard. Now, where I park today, oh my gosh, over $100 a car.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
The 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver.
They took Golden. Wow! There it is.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
Absolute cinema.
We have some breaking news just into the 620 WTMJ Breaking News Center. Adam Roberts joining us with them.
Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan has been arrested at the Milwaukee County Courthouse.
Live outside the federal courthouse in Milwaukee, where a small group of protesters have gathered following the arrest of Judge Hannah Dugan.
An FBI complaint alleges Judge Dugan knew ICE agents were prepared to arrest a defendant in her courtroom. Federal agents say she sent that man and his attorney through the jury room.
Judge, anything to say about this?
What a week, eh?
Go on, Tony. Enjoy your lives.
Take care and goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That's a Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. All right, it's 4:42 at WTMJ. This is going to be fun. ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde from the draft up next.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food. the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Investment and retirement planning is important, but too many people put it off. Let this be your nudge to connect with Annex Wealth Management for a no-pressure chat. Getting acquainted is simple. If it feels right, you take the next step. And if your current plan's raising red flags, maybe your advisor's firm is shifting in ways that don't sit well, there's no harm in a fresh perspective. Annex brings everyone together under one roof. They're in-house experts covering financial planning, investments, taxes, and estate matters. Work as a unified team to streamline your strategy. With branches spanning the WTMJ listening area, meeting up is easy, and their Annex Everywhere option makes virtual check-ins a breeze. Trade disputes and tariffs are keeping markets shaky, stirring up volatility that demands a steady hand. Don't wait for the dust to settle. Help secure your family's future now with a thoughtful, seasoned plan. Visit AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button, and schedule your own appointment today. That's Annex Wealth Management, fee-only fiduciary all the time. Know the difference with Annex.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like Livingston Seed Packets, 25% off MSRP, up to $300 off select Cub Cadet riding mowers, all backed by our service guarantee. See an associate for details. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
From the post-game show to the morning show, there's no rest for baseball and Dominic Cotroneo.
I was like a kid on Christmas Eve. I couldn't sleep last night. I was just so excited to get ready to watch games that count.
Dominic Cotroneo is our Brewers 360 guest every Monday morning at 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There are some roster decisions I do want to break down here, and then we'll get into the lineup.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin State Fair. Deals end April 27th.
Big groups save big at Wisconsin State Fair. Take advantage of discounted group tickets for parties of 25 or more at wistatefair.com. Hurry, deals end April 27th.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads?
Well, we got a new issue now. Northbound 43 right in the Marquette. It's off on the right shoulder, and it is a crash. So watch out for that. That's going along with the other issue that we've got at Locust. All the lanes have been reopened, but everything is off on the right shoulder, still causing a bit of a delay all the way up past that point. We've got southbound on 43 backing up from before Hampton all the way down past Locust. Southbound 41, heavy from just about Highway 145 all the way down past Silver Spring. Northbound's backing up from Blue Mound Road all the way up to Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Breezy tonight, a low of 29. Tomorrow, a few clouds, then mostly sunny. 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Sunday, partly cloudy. 56 at the lake, 63 inland. Monday, a chance of showers and storms, then partly sunny and warm. 72 at the lake, 78 inland. Tuesday, morning scattered showers and storms. It'll be breezy, a high of 70 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, light rain and 48 degrees.
Oh, yeah. NFL Draft Day 2 in Titletown. We are joined by the ceremonial mayor of Green Bay.
Yes.
He is ESPN's Jason Wilde. Hello, Mayor. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I think I'm more like Public Works or the I don't know what a comptroller does, but I think that would be a good role for me.
It sounds good. Comptroller sounds fancy.
Sounds important, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I
sure
have no
does.
idea what they do.
Hey, let me play this clip for you, then we're going to ask you about this guy. This is last night. Matthew Golden introducing himself to Green Bay.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, my gosh, that was amazing moment last night on the stage. I loved leading into that, Jason. Mark Murphy laying out who the Packers pick was going to be, rattled off the 13 World Championships. Is anybody here an owner? We haven't done this since 2002. You could feel it literally building, and then the place just exploded. What'd you think of the moment?
Yeah, I thought Mark Murphy was terrific. He and I haven't always seen eye to eye, especially on ticket prices. But I think he was fantastic last night, and that couldn't have been easy because this event is his baby, and it's also going to be his last draft. And so to see that come to fruition, look out over that crowd and see 200,000 fans, most of them Packers fans, had to be great. I think the only person who was better than Murphy last night was Matthew Golden. I mean, yes, he didn't know the Go Pack Go chant. He went with a 1-2-3 Green Bay, but he played in Texas. We're not going to hold that against him. I thought he was magnificent. I've never seen a draftee for any team in any draft after being introduced go over to the podium after he's done hugging the commissioner and grab the microphone. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a great moment of spontaneity. I thought he met the moment brilliantly.
Amazing outfit. Those little tux with his bow tie.
I have that same jacket. I'm glad you like it because I'm going to wear it next time I'm in studio.
Did you see on the inside, I saw a picture where he opened up the jacket and he had photos on the whole inside. It looked like photos of his family, photos of him growing up. They were sewn into the jacket. It was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and he told us a story that his the house he grew up in, raised by his grandmother, was repossessed or whatever it was. And so the first thing he's going to do when he has his signing bonus is buy back his grandmother's house. Oh. And I just, these guys, I think it's easy to forget when you're worried about your fantasy team or whether they win or lose that these guys are actual human beings. And I love it when they share that kind of thing so you understand the struggle. And, Brian Gutekunst was talking about, he wants guys that love football, and that seems like such an obvious thing. Well, you're going to go in the NFL. Of course you love football. That's not always true. For a lot of guys, it's a means to an end. And they love that he is made of the right stuff. He's been through a lot of adversity in his life and come out on the other side. Goody's line was, he's wired the way we want guys wired, and that's a big thing for this organization.
Some draft boards had him as the number one wide receiver in the draft. From a football standpoint, how do you like the pick, or how do you evaluate it?
So he's a little bit shorter than they prefer. They usually like their wide receivers to be 6 foot or 6'1". He's 5'11". But here's the other thing. He's the fastest guy in the draft. Fastest, 4.29 40-yard dash. That's not just the fastest wide receiver, fastest guy, period. And they obviously need that. Christian Watson's going to be sidelined for a while. He's even faster than Christian Watson was coming out of college. So he's a little bit shorter, but the guy he reminds me of, although he's a lot faster than this guy was, is Greg Jennings, who, if you remember, caught 2 huge passes in the Super Bowl, was a really, really good wide receiver, multiple-time All-Pro and Pro Bowler, but he's even faster than him. So if he can have that kind of a career, this will go down as one of the best picks in a very long time.
ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde is with us. I want to play you a clip and then ask you about this, Jason.
Okay, welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Okay, that might not have been the best example, but we wanted to give you the taste of Roger Goodell being booed. He was booed almost every single time he went to the podium. He brought the draft to Green Bay. He made sure it was here. I don't know what people's axe is to grind with commissioners in pro sports, but what has Goodell ever done? I don't understand this, Jason. What is happening with this incessant booing?
Yeah, I saw that too, and it happens at every draft. Like right. I don't get it either. Like and he's kind of tried to steer into it by making a joke of it, but I didn't. I was disappointed in our people that I thought we were better than that. I mean, again, there's certainly reasons to be frustrated. I personally would be booing billionaire owners before I'd be booing the commissioner. But
right,
yeah, that was disappointing. There's no doubt about it. But on balance, I think with that one very clear exception, I think Wisconsinites have shown up and shown out really well during these couple days here.
Jason, what are you looking forward to tonight?
Well, I'd like to get to bed early, but I don't think that's
not
going to happen. I'm a little overtired. But I'm looking forward. They've got 2 picks. They got 54 and 87 tonight. 1 second-round pick, 1 third-round pick. Brian Gutekunst has made no bones about the fact that he wants to have multiple picks, add to his draft options. So I'm looking for probably 1 trade back in one of those 2 rounds to accumulate an extra pick tonight, going into tomorrow when they're going to have, obviously, the 4th through 7th rounds. I would think defensive line is on the docket for them if they can get a defensive lineman, maybe an edge rusher, and then, I don't know if it's corner or an offensive lineman, but they do still have needs. They have a good roster. They clearly don't have a Super Bowl roster, so they've got some holes to fill.
I want to ask you another question about the commissioner, Jason. It really struck me the warm relationship he has with the top draft picks. When they came onto stage, it was more than just a gesture when they hugged him. At times, though, it looked like they wanted to pull away and the commissioner was not ready to let go. But he had choreographed handshakes. He seemed like he knows these guys. Can you talk about those moments?
Showing him the jersey before he shows the crowd.
Yeah, he did. I will say this, and I don't pretend to know Roger Goodell well. I've certainly asked him questions, and when I've been at the NFL meetings in the past, I've had conversations with him. But I do think he understands. Now, the issue, of course, is, when we get into those years of acrimonious negotiations over the CBA, the joke is that the last time that you actually like Roger Goodell as a player is after you finish hugging him on draft day, and then that's it. So he has I think he's got a great way about him. Obviously, he has taken this league to a level that is unprecedented with his predecessors. And look, the biggest thing is 5 years ago, we were doing this, and he was in his basement. We all were. So to see that many people and to see those types of interactions, that's what this is supposed to be all about.
Jason Wilde's with us. Couldn't let you go without playing Clay Matthews. Surprised a lot of people. I want to play the bite for people who haven't heard it and then ask you your perspective on this. This is Clay Matthews on the stage early in the draft last night.
I just got off the phone with the President, Donald Trump. He asked me to pass a message along to all 32 NFL franchises. So let me tell you what it reads here, all right? It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck!
Clay Matthews up there with other Packers legends. I was really nervous when he started that bid. I was thinking, we're not really going to do politics, are we? And that did not happen. Give us some perspective, some thought on Clay Matthews' moment on the stage.
Yeah, Clay Matthews can do whatever he wants, right? He helped the Packers win a Super Bowl. I remember a time where I suggested that I did not like the chant or the song, "The Bears Still Suck," and I don't think Packers fans appreciated me saying that. So I am not here to criticize Clay. I love Clay. I did not know where that was going either. So I was pleased that it landed at a place that could unite all Packers fans because they all agree that the Bears are, as I like to say, the Bears remain wholly inadequate, which I think is a nicer way to put it.
Excellent. Jason Wilde. He's our Packers insider, the best in the business. Hope you get a little bit of sleep tonight, Jason. Thank you so much for always making time for us.
Yeah, of course. Great to catch up with you guys. Take care. Be good.
4:56 at WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Construction equipment manufacturer Wacker Neuson Group crosses the halfway mark in a $30 million upgrade and expansion of its Menominee Falls facilities. With the expansion, the business plans to begin producing excavators and will add 150 to 200 production employees in early 2026. Preliminary plans by Cornerstone Development proposed 90 condominiums and 48 single-family homes in Pewaukee. The development, called the Glen of Pewaukee, would be located off of Springdale Road, north of Interstate 94. Quad Graphics Incorporated makes plans to close its plant in Greenville, Michigan by May 16, when it will lay off 72 employees. The company cites continued declines in retail advertising inserts in newspapers in its decision to close the plant. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Colette Tours has an incredible trip I'm leading listeners on. I'd like for you to come with my wife, Michelle, and me on this trip. It's America's Music Cities for the holidays. America's Music Cities. That is New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville. America's musical legacy wrapped in dazzling Christmas lights, seasonal decor. This is so fun. It's the very first week in December. I love the itinerary that we've built. Soulful New Orleans with the great food. We stay in the vibrant French Quarter, all decked out for the holidays. Nashville, we have a chocolate making class. That's going to be fun. A horse-drawn carriage ride. All the cool stuff you get in Nashville. We stay at the Opryland Resort with a magical holiday dinner. And then Memphis, the birthplace of the blues. Elvis Presley's Graceland. I love the itinerary. I love what we're doing with the trip. I'd love for you to come with us. Send me an email, john@WTMJ.com. I'll send you the information. John, John, @WTMJ.com. We've actually got a meeting coming up where I will be there. So will Colette. They'll answer all your questions. Won't you come to the meeting? Let me give you all the information about the meeting and the trip, including pricing. Send me an email, John, John, @WTMJ.com.
Okay, who's ready to fish? Fleet Farm's all stocked and ready to go with the hottest brands to help you gear up for the season. Like the latest lines and lures from Berkley, Fluger rods and reels, Northland tackle, bobbers, and bait, all sorts of Senko worms, the best in fish finders from Humminbird, Lowrance, and Garmin, St. Croix rods, new releases from Abu Garcia, and more. Stop in and check out the latest fishing gear from all your favorite brands at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Say hello to the future of drinking with Nowadays. While Green Bay's on the clock, enjoy a cannabis-infused spirit designed to deliver a light and buzzy experience without the negative effects of alcohol. Ditch the booze. Keep the fun. Drink Nowadays. Look for Nowadays at your local retailer or bar.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
The Bucks are taking the playoffs back home.
My mindset right now is game 3. I know what I got to do.
To turn things around against the Pacers.
Giannis the other way. Gallops down the lane and plunges it through with a right-hand jam. There was nothing in between him and the rim.
Our Game 3 coverage starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot-Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story, felony charges from a Milwaukee County judge.
I'm Julia Fellow. Federal unions can stay for now.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, northbound on 43. We've got backups out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. We do have a crash to deal with on the ramp from northbound 4394 through the Marquette, so keep that in mind. It is out of traffic, though, off on the right shoulder. We've also got this other crash. Actually just got cleared up. Westbound 84th Street on-ramp to westbound 894. We do have delays, though, on the bypass from Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home. And northbound 41, a very heavy ride from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 57 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, This just in, the Journal Sentinel reporting that Republicans in Madison will seek to remove Judge Hannah Dugan. She is the Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge facing 2 felony counts of obstruction for allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant evade arrest. Attorney General Pam Bondi telling Fox News Dugan's actions put lives at risk.
We're sending a very strong message today. If you are harboring a fugitive, if you are helping hide one, if you are giving a TDA member guns, anyone who is illegally in this country, we will come after you and we will prosecute you.
Bondi says the Trump administration will target judges who oppose the president's growing immigration crackdown.
Citizens and local leaders joined protests over Judge Dugan's arrest outside the federal courthouse in Milwaukee. Democratic State Senator Chris Larson tells WTMJ.
They want to use Hannah Dugan and her arrest as a flag to wave to everybody to be able to say we are going to intimidate and we are going to bully our way into our version of justice.
Judge Dugan's arraignment is set for next month.
Members of Marquette University staff are planning to hold a protest during the inauguration of the school's new president.
Dr. Kibo Ayun will formally be inaugurated at the Al McGuire Center next Tuesday, and some members of the faculty plan to protest. At issue is the university's refusal to recognize a union. This after more than 65% of the faculty had signed cards supporting a union last year. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says some staff plan to protest on campus during the ceremony as a way to call for the university to live up to its Catholic values. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
A federal judge in Washington, D.C. has blocked the president's executive order to dismantle federal employee unions.
The president issued that executive order late last month. Now a judge says that order was unlawful and has issued a temporary injunction pending the outcome of a lawsuit filed by the National Treasury Employees Union. That union represents some 160,000 federal employees. The union argued the president's order would remove federal agencies from obligations to bargain and that it violates federal workers' labor rights as well as the U.S. Constitution. Roughly 75% of some 1 million federal workers are represented by unions. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, he just might be heading on the road again.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. One of the biggest questions retirees face is when should I take Social Security? Should you claim it earlier for a smaller check or wait for a bigger payout? The wrong move could cost you thousands over the course of your retirement. And here's something most people don't realize. Social Security is only one piece of your income puzzle. If you don't coordinate it with your other retirement assets, you could pay more in taxes or even reduce your benefits without meaning to. At Drake & Associates, we help hardworking Americans like you make sense of their Social Security options so you can keep more of what you've earned. This isn't just about picking an age. It's about having a strategy so your retirement income lasts. That's why I want to send you a free retirement toolkit along with a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Inside, you'll find easy-to-understand strategies to help you maximize Social Security, lower taxes, and build a reliable income plan. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free copies while supplies last. If you're unsure about your Social Security options, don't wait. This is your chance to get clarity and confidence about your retirement income. Text SS to 414-897-9522. Secure your future today. Text SS to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you retire with confidence.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Country music legend Willie Nelson turns 92 years old next week, and he has just released his 154th album.
Yeah, here's to you, here's to me.
If
you're counting, Oh, What a Beautiful World is Willie's 154th album, his 77th solo album.
I'll show you the best I can show you, babe.
The album focuses on songs written by another Texan, Rodney Crowell. Willie will turn 92 April 29th. His schedule still full, 32 shows, May through September. Russell Scott for CBS News, Dallas.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Packers have a new star fit for the green and gold. Wide receiver Matthew Golden.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a green bag 3. 1, 2, 3.
Golden is the first wide receiver pick the Packers have made in the first round since 2002. Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft are tonight in Green Bay. The Bucs return at home tonight, down 0-2 to the Pacers. Coverage begins with Bucs shoot-around at 6 o'clock right here on WTMJ. And the Brewers also are in St. Louis for a 3-game series against the Cardinals tonight. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:08.
UW-Madison is one of the country's leading hubs for supporting life-changing research and building a skilled workforce. An investment in UW-Madison helps make a healthier Wisconsin, build strong businesses, and win the war for workforce talent, not just at Madison, but across our entire state. Visit uwalumni.com/UW5 to tell your legislators to support UW-Madison in the Wisconsin state budget. That's uwalumni.com/UW5. Paid for by the Wisconsin Alumni Association.
John Mercure here for Loyal Family Renovations. They're quite simply the best in the business, did our roof. I was impressed with how fast they were, how efficient they were, how easy they made the whole process, including working with the insurance company. It's right in the title, Loyal Family. Loyal to you, the customer. Family, you're part of their family. It's Loyal Family Renovations. Your family's home is their top priority. Our roofing process was so easy. Start by doing this. Go to loyalfamilyrenovations.com. loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John Mercure and Julia Fellow.
Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well.
So glad that you are with us. Hey, the big story that we've been following today is the story out of the Milwaukee County Courthouse where a judge, Hannah Dugan, has been arrested after officials say she helped a suspect evade arrest. ICE was there to arrest the suspect, and she was taken into custody. He was eventually captured. Wanted to get some perspective on this. Annie Schwartz is a law enforcement communications expert, and she is with us. Hey, Annie, thanks for being here.
Always happy to talk about Wisconsin in the national headlines again, John.
I want to get some law enforcement perspective from you on this.
Not so proudly.
We won't get a lot of detail from the case. We're not going to dive into that with you, but I want to ask you as a law enforcement expert, especially in the communication field, and I know you've been talking to people connected to this throughout the course of the day. Why do law enforcement officials believe the courthouse is a safe place, is a good place to make these sort of arrests?
Well, that's the premise, John, is that it is a safe place. And I heard Frank Gimbel, and I respect him, and he said maybe it's safe, but it's not the appropriate place. I think more about law enforcement, John, and the fact that they knew that there was a violent criminal, somebody who, they have a chance to get, because when he punches the next person, maybe they're not just going to end up in the hospital, maybe, he's going to kill them, and then someone undoubtedly is going to, come on the show and say, where was law enforcement, John? I'm not a lawyer, but I do know what law enforcement is saying today. And they're saying, when are we going to feel like we're getting backed up in the courts, in the city attorney's office, in the DA's office? Those are all very real issues for the police. And this doesn't help.
Annie, what do you say to, the mayor saying that it's not normal for arrests to take place there?
Well, I don't know what normal means in this case. What I know is just the facts, which are, You've got a violent criminal. This guy put two people in the hospital, Julia and John. I mean, the victims in this case are telling reporters they don't even want to have their faces shown because they're afraid of retaliation from this guy and his friends. So this isn't somebody who, stepped across the line by mistake. This is someone who beat his roommate and his girlfriend more than 30 times, put them in the hospital, opened this guy's head when he beat him. And, and what police know is that if he goes to court, actually, I shouldn't say what police know. Police are telling me that what the bad guys know is that send me back to the local court. Don't take me into federal custody. Send me back to Milwaukee County. Send me back to Dane County, because what they know is they're going to get bail and then they're going to flee again, because you're talking about two counties where they stand a pretty good chance of getting released or getting bail. So,
Annie,
I think that's the problem, right?
I know this sounds absurd, but if you play this out, basically, if somebody's a serial killer and they're in Milwaukee County Court, this argument would have you believe that they can't be arrested there because they're in the courthouse. I mean, where do we draw the line? This is just seeming to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a sanctuary. It's not like we're, saying go grab the guy at a church service. You're in the courthouse because you have business with the court. And I'm not aware that the courthouse is supposed to be a sanctuary. It certainly is a place where justice is rendered.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you. Good perspective. Annie Schwartz, law enforcement communication expert. Thank you, Annie. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being with us.
Always appreciate the chance to always give law enforcement's perspective on these stories, John. Thanks.
It is 5:13 at WTMJ.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford, they're going to take really good care of you at the Mine Shaft. It's big food, big fun all day long at the Mine Shaft, and it's super affordable. It's a family fish fry Friday at the Mine Shaft. Check this out. You don't need to pay $16 or more. Your Mine Shaft fish fry is $7.99. It's all you can eat after a long week. Relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. That sounds good. The kids menu starts at $3.99. They can safely play in that huge game room, quietly set aside from the dining area while you finish up. Maybe have a Bailey's or a Rusty Nail or an after-dinner drink. I repeat, the Mine Shaft's all-you-can-eat fish fry, $7.99. That's ridiculous. Desserts or buy one, get one free. That's delicious. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near the EAA in Oshkosh. Tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry. Get there whenever you can. I love the fish fry. Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. Now that's a value. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
A whole day dedicated to us?
No, dedicated to you, the WTMJ fan.
Come celebrate WTMJ with us, your favorite WTMJ host, at a private tailgate at the Brewers game Saturday, May 17th.
Enjoy food, drinks, and hanging out with us. Plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Twins at AmFam Field.
Get more information and secure your tickets at WTMJday.com.
Tickets will go fast, so sign up today.
We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, May 17th.
WTMJ Day is sponsored by Woodman's.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Traffic and weather. All right. How we doing, Deb?
Well, we got some delays on the bypass heading southbound from Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange to about Forest Home. This is also affecting your ride from Highway 100 on the Rock Freeway into the Hale. Eastbound 94, backups from 92nd Street all the way through to 27th. Westbound, not too bad. A little bit heavy coming out of the Stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard, and then again, just west of Highway 100 to the county line. Northbound on 41, that's a hefty ride from Watertown Plank Road pretty much all the way up to Silver Spring. Northbound 43, still dealing with a crash, technically from 4394 northbound through the Marquette. That is off on the right shoulder, so we're seeing more delays beyond that from about Kilbourne all the way up to Keith. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, breezy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 57. Sunday, a high of 63 with some cloud cover. Monday, chance for rain, a high of 78. On Tuesday, scattered showers, a high of 70. It's currently 49 degrees.
At 5:17 on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDrakamp.com.
So we were at the draft yesterday, and as I was nearing the end of the day, I decided to grab some food and get to my car. And we had been on our feet all day. I think I put in like 20,000 steps yesterday. Grabbed some food. I had my little food in one hand. It was a homemade Crunch Wrap from a little local establishment in Green Bay with fries. I had it. I was tired. I was trying to get to the car. As I was walking towards my car, I looked up and I saw 3 state troopers, big guys. So I kind of glanced over there, and then I saw an elderly guy with white hair in between the middle of them, and I said, oh, my gosh.
Elderly?
Well, he is. Governor Evers, what'd you call him, a young kid?
No.
So I saw our governor. And I said, oh, my gosh, I got to go talk to him. Hey, young man, got a question for you. So I'm carrying my food in one hand. I'm struggling to get my phone out of my pocket. I got my reporter's notebook. Stuff's falling all over. I make my way to the governor, and his people see me coming, his communication staff, and they step between me and the governor. And I said, can I ask the governor a couple questions? And they said, well, we're really on our way. And I just barged in, and I had my phone. Because that's how we record now.
That's right.
And I said to the governor, hey, let me ask you about the draft. And he told me something about the draft. And then it clicked in me. I said, he hasn't talked about this veto that he did that basically provided funding to schools for 400 years because of a little-known veto that he used. So his people were banging into me. The security guards got tight around him. They said, we got to go. John, we need to take him now. And instead, I thrust my phone in and wanted to ask him about the veto that no one else had yet talked to him about.
The criticism you're getting over the veto. How do you respond to people who say that's too much in Wisconsin, it shouldn't be like that?
Yeah, when you look at that and you look at what a small difference it makes in the whole budget, I have no regrets.
He has no regrets. I was proud. I held on to my food. It didn't fall on the ground. I'm talking to the governor. Security guards are bouncing into me. I got my food in my one hand, my phone in my other hand, my reporter's notebook tucked under my elbow. His people were not happy. Gave me the death stare.
Well, Evers won the Supreme Court.
He did. He won. The veto stands.
It stands.
So it is 5:19 at WTMJ. More on our day at the draft. That's up next.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Freighter, the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Constant change when it comes to cancer treatments, clinical trials, or an opportunity to try newly discovered treatment options. We talked recently to Dr. Samin Abedin, a medical oncologist with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, to learn about clinical trials, their safety, why you might consider them, and more. You can hear that conversation along with all of our past everyday health discussions by clicking the drop-down menu at WTMJ.com.
Who's hungry? Mark your calendar April 19th through the 27th for Lake Geneva Restaurant Week. This culinary adventure showcases dozens of the area's top restaurants, serving up exclusive breakfast, lunch, and dinner menus at unbeatable savings. From casual cafes to elegant fine dining, the choices are endless as we celebrate Lake Geneva's amazing dining scene. Check out participating restaurants, menus, and all the tasty details at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for distinctive dining.
We didn't write the headline. The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Market shifts, economic uncertainty, and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. No doubt, standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil, and we're totally on board with that. But retirement planning isn't a set-it-and-forget-it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized financial, retirement, estate, and tax plans that adapt as needed and put your goals first always. Already with another firm, but getting the feeling you're lost in the shuffle or they just can't keep up? A second opinion could be the smartest move you could make. If you're managing it yourself, we'll fill in the gaps with professional precision. You work hard to build your future. Don't leave it to chance. Put a pro on your side. Get a proactive plan from a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. Explore outdoor living this Saturday from Eric Brown, the president of Outdoor Living Unlimited. He knows his stuff. They expand your living space with decks, patios, fire pits, even outdoor kitchens, and can show you a virtual reality of it all for starters. Outdoor Living Unlimited did a great job at the Matzik household. We love it. So listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix It Show and check out OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Yeah, Lil Wayne. He was up there at the draft. Did you see him yesterday?
No!
He was on the stage with Clay Matthews and Jordy Nelson and all the guys.
He was riding a bike.
He rode a bike onto stage. They all did. It was super cool. He is our guy. So Julie and I were up at the draft all day yesterday. I have to say, it was amazing. I'm so glad that I got the chance to go.
Too.
It was just cool to be there. So I lived in Green Bay, just west of the stadium, a block and a half west of the stadium. We were so close that you could hear the fans in the stands during the game if we had the windows open. We parked cars in our yard. And so I decided to park in our old house's yard. I parked in the yard where we used to park cars. The guy who owns the house now is a guy named Scott Schaefer. I talked to Scott about how amazing it is to have this thing going on in April when usually there's just action up there in the fall.
So I lived in this very same house when I was up here, and we parked cars, and there were like 10 weekends a year that were Packers games, and it was cool because you got cars in the yard and got the excitement. How awesome is it to have a weekend in April where you're able to do this?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we'll take anything, especially in the off season, and see what happens.
How good a mood are people in?
Everyone's here to have a good time.
It's turned into a business around here. I mean, this neighborhood with Titletown across the street, the parking here, what you've done, this is like a little village of businesses.
It is. I mean, a lot of these people don't even live on the street anymore. They're from all over the place. It is a little business, and what better landmark than Lambeau Field right across the street, so you got to capitalize on it.
Do you mind me asking how much money you hope to make parking this weekend?
Which I don't even know. I'm hoping for just some beer money and take me to the bar side. We'll see.
All right, well, I can do the math for him. He gets 60 cars in the yard. Each car is $150 is what they're charging. He gave me a discount. So that's $9,000 a day times 3 days. That's $27,000 cash. A lot of beer money if you're Scotty Boy.
Did he let you in his house, your old house?
Yeah, I went in the house. I asked if I could go in the house. He said, yeah, come on in. He showed me around. It's beautiful. It's stunning. They redid it. But it was fun. I walked in like the rooms that were the girls' bedrooms, and when we were there, they were 5 years old.
Oh.
It was really fun to see that. It was fun. We have lots of great memories in that house. When we were there, the girls were from age 4 to 6.
Wow.
And so it was really, really fun to relive that. Another thing that was cool was seeing all the rivals together. Packers fans hanging out with Bears fans. I caught up with Casey, a Cowboys fan, hanging out with Dave, the Packer backer, both wearing their gear.
Tell me what it's like to be up here on a day where there's not action on the field, and Packers and Cowboy fans are getting along.
Well, I'm a football junkie, so the nostalgia part is number one. Lambeau Field is Lambeau Field. And Green Bay is nice, yes.
All right, come in here, Packer fan. Come on over here. Is it easier today to cuddle up to your friend because there's nothing happening on the gridiron?
Well, that's always easy anyway. We are very welcoming to everyone except for Minnesota and Detroit.
And the Bears.
And the Bears. Yeah, Bears. We owned them for a while, but we're always good to everybody here. So.
How fun is it to see everybody walking around with all the different jerseys on?
That is cool. I mean, it just...
I love that.
I was wondering how much we would see of all the other teams, too.
Your take on that. How cool is it to see all these different jerseys here?
Well, I booked a flight about a month and a half ago from Arizona just to see this.
And I drove
first
across
time,
town.
You drove across town.
No, this is the word bucket list right here.
Bucket list. I think a lot of people viewed it that way. It was so cool to see the community involved, too. In the neighborhood where I parked, as I walked to the stadium, I saw a girl with a table set up selling lemonade. I saw another little girl selling little friendship bracelets that she was sitting in a lawn chair making and selling to people as they walked to the game. It was really, really magical to be up there. And then to come home and watch it on TV and see those glorious shots of Lambeau from the drones and the stage.
At night, it was so pretty.
Wasn't it amazing?
Yes.
What a great night. I'll be checking that out tonight as well. It is 5:27 at WTMJ. Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky gets you ready for the weekend. He joins us after the news coming up here. And Frank Gimmel, a renowned criminal defense attorney, weighs in on the arrest of a judge at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. It's going to be an interesting conversation. All of that comes your way before we get to 6 o'clock. First, let's check those markets. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P gains big time for the fourth straight day and the longest winning streak since January. Big Tech led the way. It was just a little up today, but a great end to the week. The NASDAQ was actually up significantly, 217 points. That's almost 1.5%. The Dow was up 20 points. The S&P was up 40 points. That was almost 1%. Nice day for the markets. Annex Wealth Management, financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. And joining us today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we're one quarter into the year, so how's the insurance market looking for businesses or for personal insurance buyers? What are you seeing out there?
Thank you, Vince. Nice to be here. For most insurance companies, they had a nice year. Underwriting earnings were generally strong and investment income was up as well. This almost always translates into some price relief for buyers in the market. Let's break it down. First, the good news. For many buyers of property insurance, cybercrime insurance, and workers' compensation insurance, they're seeing price decreases. Now, the not-so-good news. Auto insurance, general liability insurance, umbrella insurance, and homeowners insurance are all trending higher.
All right, Jeff, so we got some lines of insurance increasing, others going down. So what do listeners need to know about taking advantage of the opportunity?
A properly designed insurance program has never been more relevant nor more important than today. It's also important you work with a partner that knows how to identify these opportunities, capitalize on them, and negotiate strongly on your behalf.
All right, so why should a business or a family work with R&R Insurance?
At R&R, we understand complex, dynamic market conditions. We understand how to present your account to an underwriter in the most favorable light. We create competition for your account, and R&R has been helping clients for almost 50 years. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to speak with you, or visit us at myknowledgebroker.com. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin State Fair. Deals there end April 27th.
Big groups save big at Wisconsin State Fair. Take advantage of discounted group tickets for parties of 25 or more at wistatefair.com. Hurry, deals end April 27th.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story. Could charges against a judge stop people from coming to court?
I'm Julia Fellow. Look to the skies tonight at the draft.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and eastbound 94, substantial delays coming out of the Zoo interchange all the way to 27th Street. Westbound, so far so good until you get into Waukesha County. A little bit heavy between Elm Grove Road and Sunny Slope, and then again right past Brookfield Road. Northbound 41, very heavy from Watertown Plank Road all the way to Hampton. We've also got northbound 43 backing up from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. Southbound slowing down just before Capitol Drive, takes you all the way down to Center Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Breezy tonight, a low of 39. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Right now, it's cloudy in Milwaukee at 48 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, reports out of Madison that some Wisconsin Republicans want to remove Judge Hannah Dugan. Dugan's been charged with 2 felony counts of obstruction for allegedly helping undocumented immigrant Eduardo Flores Ruiz evade arrest a couple of weeks ago, last week actually. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says the purpose of the arrests were to showboat and to scare people from coming to court.
If a judge is being arrested in the courthouse, just imagine the chilling effect that it sends to other folks who would otherwise participate in judicial proceedings in our courthouse, and not just in the Milwaukee County Courthouse, but courthouses across the state of Wisconsin and courthouses across the United States. This makes our community less safe.
Dugan's arraignment is set for May 15th.
An overnight home invasion turns deadly. A 70-year-old victim battered and killed inside a home near 8th and Galena, according to police. A known suspect remains at large.
Trump administration funding cuts are hitting the Medical College of Wisconsin.
So far, a loss of about $5 million in research grants. President and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, Dr. John Raymond.
There's a real prospect that we and others will not only need to redirect research, but also shrink our research enterprise.
The medical college has already frozen some hiring and halted development of a new physician assistant program.
For every dollar of NIH funding that comes into the state, there's an economic impact of 8-fold in the community.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Keeping communities safe by disposing of drugs. The police chief of the Zablocki Veterans Affairs Medical Center says to WTMJ the importance of National Prescription Drug Takeback means anyone can drop off the drugs without any consequences.
They can put, the medications that have the narcotics or the creation of the opiates that is really the key that we try to get. But those are no questions asked, and you put it in there.
Drug Takeback event at the VA starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
The first cruise ship of the season sails into Milwaukee on Monday.
For the 4th year in a row, Viking Octantis will be the first ship in Bruce City. Port Director Jackie Q. Carter.
We're glad we always get to kick it off big. Viking has the largest vessels that come into the Great Lakes, so we see them quite a bit throughout the summer, and then we'll get a little bit heavier with some of the smaller vessels as we get into the fall.
The port expects the ship to pass through Milwaukee's breakwall between 9 and 10 Monday morning. The public is encouraged to check it out.
We've gotten a lot of feedback about the fact that Milwaukee has one of the warmest welcomes that a lot of them experience.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
The WIAA approves name, image, and likeness opportunities for high school athletes. Member schools voted in favor of the provision 1 year after a similar proposal was voted down. The NIL changes are expected to take effect next month.
Day 2 of the NFL Draft in Green Bay. Senior Vice President for Global Events for the NFL, John Barker, previews what fans can expect tonight.
32 legends coming out to make picks. Your University of Wisconsin alumni with us to make picks. Joe Thomas, Hall of Famer, University of Wisconsin alumni here to host the show today. So a lot going on.
Round 2 starts in less than 30 minutes.
And they aren't the only things on the entertainment schedule for draft goers tonight.
More than 1,200 drones will light up the Green Bay sky for the first time in the city's storied history. And because it's the NFL, there's nothing basic about it.
We've implemented some AI technology, not to give too much away, but we're going to bring a very famous coach from Green Bay to life in the sky tonight.
Tim Tobito is the NFL's Senior Director of Entertainment. If you're a Packers fan, make sure to stay for the whole thing.
We think it's appropriate to finish with some of the greatest moments in Packers history and obviously the impact that Coach Lombardi left on our game as well.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The newest member of the Packers is wide receiver Matthew Golden. The 23rd overall selection in round 1 is ready to get to work with Jordan Love.
Talented quarterback can get out the pocket and make plays. Damn sure can throw the ball, so I'm letting him know as soon as I see him, man, you got a reliable target, you can trust me. But, trust is built over time, so going out there, like I said, and competing and gaining everyone's trust, that's where it first starts.
The Packers currently own 1 pick in round 2, 1 pick in round 3. Rounds 4 through 7 are on Saturday. The Bucs look to protect the home floor tonight in Game 3 of their series against the Pacers. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. And the Brewers continue their road series. They're against the Cardinals tonight. Road trip, I should say. The series begins. Game 1 tonight. You can hear that game on 94.5 coverage at 6:40.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, their mission is to transform the culture of care. So here's the deal. We're living longer, right? That's fantastic news. It also means that more people are likely to have Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. It's just part of the facts of how we are and where we are. Let Azura take care of your loved one. They specialize that. Extra training for Alzheimer's and dementia symptoms. Wisconsin-based, family-owned throughout southeast Wisconsin, compassion and empathy. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I've seen their people. It's Azura.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznatsky is with us. Niz, we are back. Julie and I were at the draft yesterday. It was so magical. It's incredible.
It looked awesome. I mean, it just looked every bit of what we were hoping for as we host, such a stage. It was great. How was it for you guys?
Incredible, big, huge. We walked a lot, but I was impressed.
I didn't realize how big it was going to be. Yes, Brian.
Well, no, I mean, and I don't think even the people with knowledge of, what was going to happen, like there was, exceeded expectations of the amount of people from what I hear.
Yes.
Like 200,000 the first night. It looked amazing on TV. Honestly, if you're a Packers fan and when they drafted Golden, if you didn't get chills, like you don't have a pulse. Like, that was something, man. Like, just his name, the swagger. You had to think that Goody, who always is like, I'm going to draft the best available possible. Right. You knew deep down he was giving the fans what they wanted, and now it just has to pan out, right?
Yeah, listen to this. Listen to this. This is Golden at the mic. All of our extras we've been on all day said they've never seen a draft pick at any draft do this. He's on stage. He grabs the microphone.
Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Hey, let me get a Green Bay 3. 1, 2, 3.
That was so magical. I got goosebumps right now just listening to it again.
He's when he was walking out of that tunnel, and then once he hits the stage, it was like rock star mentality. This guy literally, if they have golden jerseys with that number 1 right now, you could sell 100,000 of them, just like that. It was a moment. And the guy seems like the guy who can carry that expectations. We'll see once it hits the field. But as far as like the pick that the fans wanted, you know what I mean? That was it. Whereas we're just so used to, and not to say that an offensive lineman isn't an important position or a defensive tackle or something like that. It's not sexy. And we got the sexy pick, and everything about it on that stage last night was magical.
So, Julie, I don't know if you noticed this, but when I was driving up yesterday, it was sprinkling. It started to sprinkle near Appleton.
Oh, I was worried.
And as I got closer to Green Bay, it sprinkled, and I was like, oh, no. But it went away, and it ended up being weather-wise great, Niz.
Yeah, and maybe that helped out with the fans, too. Unfortunately, today has been kind of crummy, but the good news is it's clearing out in Green Bay. While we're seeing the light rain now, for them, it's starting to wrap up. So it should be another dry, fantastic, chilly, but fantastic evening in Green Bay.
Feels like football.
There you go.
It does.
Exactly.
And that's the theme. That's the theme that I think from what I could tell from people's reactions of it being kind of like a giant tailgate, something that we have come accustomed to for Packers games. And I'm sure that's what the NFL wanted. They didn't want to steer too much away. Obviously, it's a much bigger stage and it's a much bigger footprint, but you still had that neighborhood vibe from what I could tell.
All right, Niz, lead us through the rest of tonight and the next 5 days. What are we looking at?
So light rain tonight for the next hour or two, and then it should be done. I think by 8 o'clock we're done with the rain. Mostly cloudy, breezy though, chilly, 38 for a low. For tomorrow, high temperature 48 in Milwaukee, 58 inland, becoming mostly sunny. Then as we head on into Sunday, partly cloudy, a little bit more cloud cover, slight chance of a shower, far from a washout. So if you want to get some yard work done on Sunday, I think you're fine as well. 56 for the high. Sunday, 64 on 64 inland. On Monday, we shoot all the way up to 73. Ooh. But rain and storms are likely Monday afternoon. Going to have to keep an eye on those storms. Tuesday, a few showers and a high temperature of 66. But this weekend, not necessarily like warm spring weather, but it could be worse. I think most of the weekend will be dry.
All right, sounds good. Go Pack, go!
Go Pack, go! We'll see how tonight goes, guys.
All right, Chief. We'll talk to you on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Yep. Yeah, go Bucks too.
Yeah,
later.
You got that right. Big one tonight. It is 5:41 at WTMJ. By the way, that Bucks game coverage begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. I think Brandon's actually hosting a show. He is jazzed as hell about that. It's going to be great. That's where our coverage starts. It's 6 o'clock on WTMJ. It is 5:42 inside the arrest of the judge at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Criminal defense attorney Frank Gimble with us straight ahead.
Are you okay?
He's in love.
With
Milo.
Who's Milo?
He's talking about the Milo bedroom at Penny Mustard.
You're in love with a bedroom set.
What's not to love? Milo certainly is a handsome bedroom.
Rugged and stylish.
Old school and contemporary. It was love at first sight.
Now I'm in love with Milo too.
Fall in love with the Milo bedroom, starting at $52.09 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
70 years ago, the Blaine brothers founded Blaine's Farm and Fleet as one of the nation's first retail stores to sell goods at a discount. And we've helped supply Midwest farms and families with quality products at unbeatable prices ever since. Like select Farnham Equine Fly Masks, $5 off. 5 gallons of Mystic Tractor Fluid, $39.99 after mail-in rebate. And 130-count Gojo Fast Towels Cleaning Buckets, $17.99. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Hey, my dogs are less barky. My dogs are less jumpy. My dogs listen better. You know why? Sit means sit dog training. I know, I didn't flip the light switch and know what to do. I started to go to Sit means sit dog training. They are awesome there. Best trainers, best techniques. Matt, the owner, and his teams know what they're doing. I have better dogs thanks to Sit means sit dog training. I trust them. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. It's Sit Means Sit. Schedule a free consultation today, multiple locations. That's how we started, that free little meeting. It's Sit Means Sit dog training.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with the group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
If you missed this,
Can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
Or this.
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my repertorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com. Presented by Dave Draycamp Heating.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get you where you need to safely with our Debbie Waska. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, Julia. Well, we do have delays on northbound 43 going up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. The southbound side heavy from just before Capitol Drive all the way down to about Locust. Eastbound 94 heavy out of the Zoo Interchange all the way through to about 30th Street. Northbound 41 is backing up from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Capitol Drive, almost to Silver Spring. And then on 894 southbound, right about at the ramp from Beloit Road, we do have a crash that is off on the right shoulder. Delays continue beyond that, though, down and around the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan has been charged with 2 felonies for her role in allegedly trying to help an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest after he appeared in her courtroom. The 65-year-old Dugan is accused of obstructing a U.S. agency, concealing an individual to prevent an arrest. She herself was arrested. She has been charged. She has been booked. The suspect, by the way, snuck out of the building, tried to evade officers, fled, and was eventually arrested outside. Frank Gimbel is a renowned criminal defense attorney and former federal prosecutor. He is with us this afternoon. Frank, good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, John. Oh, it's my pleasure to be with you.
Okay, so the allegation is that she helped this guy, and it's very detailed in the criminal complaint, sneak out a side door. She helped him go in areas where defendants usually do not go. She said herself these people are not usually allowed in these areas. Should she have been charged?
Well, whether or not she should have been charged, John, I don't know, because I'm hearing you tell me what's in the complaint. I have not seen the complaint. The questions that are associated with the charge that I understand has been levied against her, the charges that have been levied against her, essentially obstructing a federal investigation, seem to me to require a proof that what she did had as one of its ingredients, which would kind of help define the intent required to convict her of essentially avoiding the federal law. And my sense is, of the facts that I've seen on this case, is that what she was attempting to do was avoid having her courtroom be the playground for the federal agents who were there to take this person into custody. And I think that's an outrage.
But they agreed to not arrest this person in the courtroom. They agreed with her bailiff and deputies, Frank, that they would wait. They followed her suggestion. They said, we'll do it in the hallway, so that wouldn't be her playground,
And the
would
hallway
it?
is a public place, they said.
I am not buying that notion that it's not a place that's within the framework of her venue. If they would have said, we're going to wait outside the door on the sidewalk, I have no problem with that. But to make the judge responsible, essentially, to facilitate this person being taken into custody by the feds troubles me.
Because they had a warrant. Did you see that?
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. But they were in an area where a person should be able to go and do the business of that person in the public building where disputes are resolved. And I assume this person, and I'm not an advocate for the person who was arrested, I'm an advocate for the judge. I assume that the person had some justifiable cause to be in the courthouse, justifiable cause to be within the framework of Judge Dugan's courtroom. And I think that makes that territory, if you will, based on my experience of 65 years of practicing law, much of it as both a federal prosecutor and defender of people accused of federal crimes, inappropriate. There are very simple methods for serving process outside of that building. And by and large, if there is an acquaintanceship between the federal law enforcement agency looking for somebody and that somebody, there's usually a communications vehicle within which that person can be told, be at the federal building at such and such a room on such and such a day. And I have had that happen in hundreds of cases, literally, over the 65 years I practiced law. Now, that's not to say that every person that I represented got that treatment. But where there was a communications network between either the lawyer and or the person and the federal authorities, there usually is a voluntary surrender, just like they should have done with Judge Dugan. And that's what troubles me, I think, more than anything, that they went to arrest her in the courthouse instead of saying to her, we're going to charge you with a federal felony, show up with your lawyer on such and such a date so that we can hand you the charges and you can be booked.
So, Frank,
do that.
let's revisit the first point that you were making about whether it's the right place. Law enforcement has said, and judges have weighed in and said, I just read this afternoon, that the courthouse is actually the safest place and the smartest place. People have had to go through security. They've had to go through metal detectors. They know there's not going to be a weapon. It's a public place. Why would the courthouse not be the safest and most appropriate place to arrest someone who has a warrant out for them?
Well, I'm not saying it's not a safe place to arrest them. I'm saying that it's not an appropriate place to arrest them. Because I think that when somebody has legitimate business in the courts of the state, and they're in the courthouse for that legitimate business, that they have a right to go and attend to that business without fear of apprehension. And I think that a side effect of the case, and I'm not here espousing anything in favor of the person who they were looking to take into custody. I'm here talking about why I think it's inappropriate to accuse Judge Dugan of some federal crime as a consequence of her trying to preserve, if you will, what I think is a reasonable sanctity of the federal courtroom for people's business.
So he was charged and arrested with domestic abuse, punching and choking 3 people. They fingerprinted him when they arrested him, and that's when the fingerprint came up. That a decade ago, he was deported when he was caught coming here illegally from Mexico and Arizona. He apparently was living here in Wisconsin for more than a year. The judge apparently, according to court records, hastily adjourned this, did not tell the victims who wanted to testify, according to Marcy's law, and also did not tell the prosecutor that it was adjourned until she escorted him out in that jury room where it was a private hallway. Are there any problems with that?
Well, you mean problems from the point of view of the behavior of the judge?
Yes.
I suppose that if I were on the other side of that litigation, I might say that why weren't we informed that there was some third-party interest in the players in this controversy? And I think that maybe that would have been reasonable. But I think that the feds showing up and arresting Judge Dugan in the courthouse was wrong, bad form, and I think inconsistent with the way that my experience has suggested criminal cases in the federal system ought to be commenced.
How bad is it that she's quoted saying this is ridiculous?
I'm sorry?
How bad is it that she's quoted saying this is ridiculous when she was notified?
How, are you asking me how bad it is that she said that?
Yeah.
I don't know what she said or when she said it or under what circumstances she said it. But where was she when she said that this is ridiculous? Was that when she was responding to the federal charges?
Yes, when she learned of it.
Was she responding to them coming to take her away from the venue where she was a public official?
It was when she learned of it.
Okay, I think that it is ridiculous to go and arrest her in the courtroom. Okay, I think it's ridiculous. Whether or not the charges are ridiculous or not, I have no ability to comment on those because they'll play themselves out in the federal building. What offends me is when somebody comes and takes into custody a public official whose presence is known in the community within which they live and in the community within which they work. And I think that they ought to take those people into custody away from the premises within which they work. I just think it's bad form for the feds to go into the courthouse and take a judge into custody. And all my experience has been, I'm going to say all my experience, I've had cases where they've arrested my clients even though I noted my appearance as their lawyer, where they didn't know where he would be or she would be or they would be. But here, Hannah Dugan is not hiding out in some place in a tent or without an address or without a place to be found. And I think to go to her workplace, a public place, and take her into custody was a humiliation. And I think it was intended to be a humiliation by those people who made the decision to arrest her. And whether she wins or loses her cases is not a part of my decision here or my opinion. My opinion is you don't go in the courthouse to arrest a judge for an offense of a different jurisdiction. I think that was bad form. And
Attorney Frank Gimbel. Hey, Frank, we got to leave it there. I appreciate the time you took with us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay, I've known Frank Gimbel a long time. I respect Frank Gimbel. I disagree with him on almost every single thing he just said. Bad form. This guy is alleged to have punched somebody in the face 30 times. I say, first off, he said he should be allowed to do business without fear of being arrested. No, if you're charged with a crime, if you punch somebody 30 times, you should fear being arrested. You should fear it when you go to the courthouse, the gas station, the convenience store, your bank, your dry cleaner. You should fear being arrested. And the judge being arrested in the courthouse, they knew the judge was in the courthouse. The judge, they believe, had just broken the law. I have no problem with them throwing the cuffs on her and taking her out of the courthouse. We're getting hung up on where the arrest took place. If prosecutors and law enforcement believe they have the evidence to make the arrest, then make the arrest wherever it is safest and be done with it.
These are your business